things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
That's what's up. Welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020.
Yo.
Dope show for you guys tonight. Y'all
What's
already
up?
know. Much needed show. I hope you guys are very anticipated on tonight's topic, which is celebrity worshiping. And we're gonna dial down into it and get into like some of the real deep rootedness of it. Is it something that's harmful or helping our community? That is something that we're going to definitely check and dial into and go over some of the facts on that. And you guys can figure out for yourself. if celebrity worshiping is helping or hindering our community. So what up, Major? What's good? What's cracking?
What's happening, man? Everything great, man. I can't complain. It's been a great week. It's been productive. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting on this topic right here, man, because I feel like I have to check somebody every other day for this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really have a serious aversion to people who can't get their head out of their ass and always out here worshiping celebrities. Like it's a pet peeve of mine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like it really stops people from being able to think critically. You feel me?
oh
I
yeah, I
mean,
hear you.
my God, you got people out here, they take shit personally when you say something about their favorite celebrity, you know?
Oh
And
yeah.
there are any number of studies out there that talk about how black people in particular watch more TV and spend more time on the internet than any other group of people. You understand what I'm saying? More TV,
Oh
more
yeah.
movies. We consume more media than any other group of people. So this celebrity worship bullshit is particularly prevalent in our neighborhood. And I'm here to tell you, it don't help nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is people get out here and they absorb all the negative characteristic traits from these celebrities. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And, every now and again, they might pick up a positive one. But for the most part, a lot of people, they're just not even real people. Their personalities are composites of different personality types, different song quotes, different movie quotes from a whole bunch of different celebrities. You know, um,
Mm.
that doesn't help anybody. It dumbs down our ability to critically think and respond to crises as a people. And so you got us out here looking crazy, because at the end of the day, we're so stuck on Beyonce or so stuck on 50 Cent and what he's doing. People really take it personally and get in their feelings when you say something about their favorite celebrity. It's like they
Mm.
feel like these people are gods or something. Hence the title celebrity worship. And I'm tired of the bullshit. So I think we in true manifestation 2020 fashion just need to face that head on and just call it out for what it is, because I'm tired of that. It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I agree with you. I think people don't understand. We look at it from the one point of view of everything being positive, like, it's nothing wrong with worshiping celebrities and things like that. But in the deep rootedness of it, a lot of people don't understand there's multiple variables that in fact in detail a lot of seriousness when it comes to the other side of dealing with these issues. And what I mean by that is basically there's a lot of side effects that come with these things that people don't understand. So we're going to start off the show by definitely getting into the definition of celebrity worshiping and getting into some of these things that can be very detrimental. So we want to start off real heavy. So let's start off with celebrity worship syndrome. All right. So celebrity worship syndrome is an obsessive addictive disorder. All right. So I just want to stop right there. Obsessive addictive disorder. A
Mm.
disorder is a condition, a medical condition that normally is not in a positive way, right? So it's an obsessive addictive disorder in which a person becomes overly involved with the details of a celebrity's personal and professional life. Psychologists have indicated that through many people obsess over film, television, sports, and pop stars, the only common factor between them is that they are all figures in the public eye. Written observations of celebrity worship date back to the 19th century. All right, so that's
Mm.
one. All right, so simple obsessively, right? Let's get into that. That is simple obsessional stalking consists of majority of all stalking cases, anywhere from 69 to 79%, and is dominated by males. This form of stalking is generally associated with the individuals who have shared previous personal relationships with their victims. However, this is not necessarily the case between a common member of public um, exhibiting celebrity worship syndrome and the famous person with whom they are obsessed. Individuals that meet the criteria of being labeled as a simple obsessional stalker tend to share a set of characteristics involving in the inability to have successful personal relationships in their own lives, social awkwardness, and feeling of powerlessness, and a sense of insecurity, and a very low self-esteem. Of these characteristics, low self-esteem plays a large role in the obsession that these individuals develop with their victim, in this case, the famous person. If the individual is unable to have any sort of connection in the celebrity within which they are obsessed, their own sense of self-worth may decline. So it's very, very powerful. And you can see the side effects that comes with being overly obsessed with a celebrity like that. So bear with me. The words are very blurred and you can't really see it too well, but I'm just gonna, go over it with details for you. So if you hear me stutter or mess up real quick, I'm just trying to read it off basically how you see it on the screen. Entertainment, social. The level of admiration is linked to the celebrity's ability to capture the attention of their fans. Entertainment, social celebrity worship is used to describe relatively low level obsession. An example of a typical entertainment social attitude would be, my friends and I like to discuss what my favorite celebrity has done. It may also be seen in the form of obsessively following celebrities on social media. Although considered the lowest level of celebrity worship, it has been seen to have number of negative effects with the regards of development of unhealthy eating tendencies, eating disorders, anxiety, depression, poor body image, and low self-esteem, especially in young adolescents aged from 13 to mid-20s. This can be supported by the study carried out on a group of female adolescents between the ages of 17 and 20. All right, and let's go for that one. Let's get into the medical health aspect of it. Evidence indicate the poor mental health is correlation with celebrity worship. Researchers have examined the relationship between celebrity worship and mental health in the United Kingdom adult samples. One study found that evidence to suggest that the intense personal celebrity worship dimension has related to higher levels of depression and anxiety. Similarly, another study in 2004 found that the intense personal celebrity worship dimension was not only related to higher levels of depression and anxiety, but also higher levels of stress, negative effect, and reports of illness. Both these studies showed no evidence of significant relationship between either the entertainment, social, or the borderline pathological dimensions of celebrity worship and mental health. Another correlation pathologically examined the role of the celebrity interest in shaping body image cognitions, right? Among 3 separate UK samples, adolescent students and older adults, individuals selected in celebrity of their own sex whose body or figure they like and admire. And they completed the celebrity attitude scale along with 2 measures of body image. Significant relationships were found between the attitude towards celebrities and the body image amongst female adolescents only. All right. Let's get into this next. Let's get into this next one. All right. The findings suggest that in the female adolescents, there is an interaction between the intense personal celebrity worship and the body image between the ages of 14 and 16. Some tentative evidence suggests that relationship disappears at the onset of adulthood, which is between the ages of 17 and 20. These results are consistent with the authors who stress the importance of the formation of relationships with media figures, suggest that relationships with celebrities perceived of having a good body shape may lead to poor body image in female adolescents. So, So let's see. So they're saying that women who follow these women with good bodies, meaning they have the BBLs, end up having poor body image growing up. All right. So this can be, again, supported by the study carried out, which investigated the link between mass media and the direct correlation to poor self-worth and body image in a sample group of females between the ages of 17 and 20. Within the clinical context of the effect of celebrity might be more extreme, particularly when considering extreme aspects of celebrity worship. Relationships between the three classifications of celebrity worship: entertainment, social, intense personal, and borderline pathological celebrity worship and obsessiveness, ego identity, fantasy proneness, and disassociation were examined. Two of these variables drew particular attention: fantasy proneness and disassociation. Fantasy proneness involves in fantasizing for a duration of time, reporting hallucination intensities as real as reporting vivid childhood memories, having intense religious and paranormal experiences. Disassociation is the lack of normal integration of experiences, feelings, and thoughts in everyday consciousness and memory. In addition, it is related to the number of psychiatric problems. So this is real heavy. Like, this is superly heavy.
It's a lot going on, yeah.
And people got to understand that. All right, so let's go to this next one, which is love obsessional. Right. All right. So as the name suggests, individuals who demonstrate in this sort of stalking behavior develop a love obsession with somebody who they have no personal relations to. Love obsessional stalking accounts for roughly 20 to 25% of the stalking cases. The people that demonstrate this form of stalking behavior are likely to have a mental disorder, commonly either through schizophrenia or paranoia. And individuals that are love obsessional stalkers often convince themselves that the fact in the relationship with the subject of their obsession. For example, a woman who has been stalking David Letterman for a total of 5 years claimed to be his wife when she had no personal connection to him.
Wow.
Other celebrities have been fallen victim to the form of stalking, including Jennifer Aniston, Halle Berry, Jodie Foster, and Mila Kunis, along with numerous other A-list stars. All right, so next one is erotomanic. Erotomanic originated from the word erotomania, which refers to stalking who generally believes that their victims are in love with them. The victims in this case are almost among well-known within the community or within the media, meaning that they can range from a small town celebrities in the famous personalities of Hollywood, comprising less than 10% of all stalking cases. Erotomanic stalkers are least common. Unlike simple obsessional stalkers, the majority of the individuals in the category of stalking are women. Similar to low obsessional stalkers, the behavior of erotomanic stalkers may result in underlying psychological behavior. All right, so, and then last one we have here is borderline pathological, right? So this is the classification in which most severe level of celebrity worship. It is it's characterized by pathological attitudes and behaviors and a result of celebrity worship. This includes the willingness to commit crime on behalf of the celebrity, which is the object of worship, or to spend money on common items used by the celebrity at some point, such as napkins. Wow, it's really deep, and I hope this information can be very informative to you guys, and also how you look at people who really worship celebrities in that form. As you can see, when we went down all 7 of these people are basically in the category of schizophrenia, paranoia, and disorders. So this isn't something that we look at when we obviously looked at it from a positive angle. Now we're giving it to you on the negative side, which can affect a lot of people. We're not saying that everybody who is into celebrity worship will fall into these categories, but if you go into the deep underliningness of a lot of these people, you might run into a lot of issues that you see that was listed on this form. So definitely wanted to drop that. You guys had anything that you wanted to add on to that?
Well, I mean, for me, it's everybody just seems to be in this frame of mind where, if a celebrity does something, it's okay. Those are most of the people that I run across. I'm not sure which one of those types that fell into, but you hear people say all the time, well, such and such don't care. They're still rich. You know what I'm saying? As though that absolves them from having to be accountable for whatever they did wrong. You understand where I'm coming from? This type of mentality permeating our public discourse is the cause for why a lot of people follow behind celebrities and do bonehead shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because, due to the fact that you're famous and you're wealthy, well, you can do no wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So I can go out here, I can do what you do, and I'm not wrong because I'm trying to be like you.
Yeah.
So that makes it so easy, for some of these sisters to go out here and lay on this table to try to get the ass like K. Michelle. You understand what I'm saying? Or the titties like Kim Kardashian, or whatever the case may be. It makes it easy for them because everything these people do is perfect. Or even if it's not perfect, it's excusable because this person is a celebrity. You understand? That right there, that is a mental sickness that I don't think we really understand the gravity of, as far as how much it affects Black society. And for guys too, we do the same thing. Kanye West was out here doing all types of outrageous stuff, saying all types of outrageous shit. And, anytime somebody would say something critical of it, there's always some moron talking about how, oh, but he's still rich though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that have to do with what he's done or what he's doing or whoever? It doesn't have to be Kanye. It could be somebody else. But, we have these celebrities out here acting out, which is really, like I said last week, a public outcry for some damn help. You understand? It's really what it is at the end of the day. But you have this monkey see, monkey do mentality, and I don't use the term monkey lightly. You understand? Where the everyday person goes out and mimics the behavior of the celebrity because they don't have a mind of their own. And this is the closest thing that they can fathom or think of to having an actual personality, to emulate the personality of someone else. You understand? And this type of, it's very harmful, very damaging, because, when you continue to do this type of thing over time, you kind of lose yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of lose yourself. You lose yourself in the public discourse. You become, a piece of, Tracy Ellis Ross, and a piece of, Lizzo, and a piece of this, piece of that. And that's who you become. You start regurgitating the talking points that these people regurgitate. There are even people that I know who mimic the political persuasions of these people. I think one of the biggest arguments that I had on social media was when I posted about Oprah talking about she's going to run for president. Everybody went and got in line to talk about how quick they would be to vote for Oprah or Michelle Obama. And I asked a very simple question. Okay, what makes you think that Oprah or Michelle Obama knows how to run the country? You have no idea what this person's form of governance would look like for the country. You have no idea. But you just like this person, so you vote for him. You don't even take voting seriously, is what that tells me. You understand what I'm saying? This person's popular. They got money. They can get my vote. You sound like a damn fool. And there's too many of us out here like that. Something as serious as the presidency. You know, you're willing to just vote for this person because they're a woman, or you're willing to just vote for this person because they're popular and you like them. You don't know what their worldview is and what they would do for you as a politician. You know, this type of thinking is very, very prevalent in Black society. And that's why, quiet as it's kept, we can't get off the Democrat plantation. I am not a conservative. I am not a Republican, but I am an independent. And I believe in voting your interests. And Black people as a group, as a collective, we have a problem with that. We vote for the person that we like. How old are we? You know what I'm saying? This thing where we want to be perpetual teenagers and just go with, you know, the person who's popular and trendy at the moment, that's going to get us in trouble every time. We have a lot to learn as a group, and we really got to get away from this celebrity worshiping, you know, celebrities can do no wrong type of mentality. It's very, very destructive. And at the end of the day, you know, we have children. So imagine, you know, a grown up adopting all of these toxic traits from some of these celebrities out here and then passing them on to their children. That's what really bothers me, you know, even more so than anything else. You know, there was a guy that we know. I remember him saying something to the level of, you know, we were having an argument, you know, and I was criticizing something that Kim Kardashian did. And he comes talking about how much of a great mother she is. And I'm like, based on what? He couldn't give me anything, any concrete reasons why she was a great mother. You know who I'm talking about, a DJ. Real moist acting DJ dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really got in his feelings because I was criticizing something that Kim Kardashian did. And then, you know, his retort was, well, she's such a great mother. You're just being nasty. Nigga, you don't know what kind of mother she is. But, you know, the evidence actually suggests otherwise if you're really paying attention and not just worshiping her and up her ass because she's a celebrity. Nah, bro, that ain't it. That ain't it. I see examples of this daily. It has to stop.
I agree with you. So going back to Keke Palmer, and her incident, it was last week. Her and her dude, apparently her and her dude broke up. So what happened was, I think this, and, you know, a lot of women follow Keke and they applaud Keke for what she did, but they don't understand that it's a detrimental, it's more detrimental to the women than they think it is. And it will play out in the long run.
Of course.
Last week when we talked about Keke Palmer, I was telling you guys that she was spiraling out of control and nobody was helping her, and everybody was applauding her. And that's a big problem when you are a big sister, or you're supposed to look at somebody and say, you know what, that ain't right. I'm holding you accountable for your bullshit, because I see in the long run it's going to be very detrimental to you. So I want to show you this video she did. And you remember when I told you guys that she was looking for a guy to have a child with, not necessarily to be with. That's why she was hunting down guys that look good and not guys who are wealthy, because wealthy guys wouldn't allow her to go out here and make a mockery of herself like that, or a mockery of their brand like that being attached to her. So I want to show you this right quick.
Little booties matter. My son gave me some ass. I'm my own boss, man. I got my own cash. I don't need a nigga. Only thing I need is a bag.
So she says, I don't need a nigga. All I need is a bag. Right? So she's shown you exactly what, basically how it played out, what was really on her mind. And people don't understand that when you have a child like that, when you have a child, period, you have to have both parents. Both parents have to come into this child's life, because the balance of a child and a human being weighs in on both sides of the parents, because a child needs specifics from the mother and the child needs specifics from the father. When you leave out one and it's more on one parent than it is on the other, that child becomes imbalanced. And a lot of times we're having a lot of these mothers running these households for whatever reason. It could be the father dipped out, or it could be the mother just ran him out the house and wanted the child for herself, because there are women that do that. And we can see Kiki is one of those.
Mm.
So you have to understand what the dimension of that looks like. But when you look at it, it still falls on the child of being imbalanced. And a lot of times you'll have a lot of women that have children that are girls who now become overly masculine. And most of them end up becoming gay, LGBT. And then on the other side of it, you have men that raise up in that same house with a lot of estrogen and a lot of feminine energy, and they end up becoming LGBT as well. So there isn't a correct balance in the system. And I'm not saying that you growing up with one parent leads you to become in the LGBT community, but when you listen, and I've listened to a lot of LGBT members tell their stories, and a lot of times that is part of the reason what made them go in that area, right? So it's a balance that needs to come when it comes down to our children, and it's very important for it. Now, here's the thing. We can applaud Kiki all day, every day for what she done, but there's an aftermath effect that a lot of women don't understand. And this video is going to show you exactly what I mean.
Even go back, be with another woman and get another woman pregnant while you end up by yourself, and let this spell is only going to last for so much. It's not going to last that long. It's going to be 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. This spell lasts, and then you end up like this woman.
I want to be loved. I want marriage. You know, a lot of us get on here, we act tough, and we be like, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, but I want help. I want to be loved. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. The problem is, and I'm not crying, y'all, because I'm sad. I'm crying, y'all, because it's like a release right now. But the problem for me, y'all, is that all the relationships that I had with men were not about love. It was about survival for me. I know how to fuck. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to seduce a man. I do not know how to love a man. And then to have a son, because of those choices that I was making, y'all, and I got pregnant really, really fast. I got pregnant within 90 days of knowing my baby daddy. And we don't talk about this shit because it's embarrassing and it hurts. It fucking hurts. I'm mad with me. I'm not mad at men. I'm not mad at my life. I'm mad at me because I don't know how to fix me. I don't know how to fix it. That's accountability. That's the shit that hurts. It's realizing that, hey, I got some shit with me that I don't know how to fucking fix. And in turn, because I don't know how to fix that shit, I'm fucking up other people around me.
And that's powerful, because that's a high level of accountability. And you know, mad kudos to that girl, that woman out there, for telling the truth. You know, a lot of times women don't want to tell the truth and bottle that type of energy up, when that kind of energy can be put out in the air, in the atmosphere, and help a young girl to understand how her recklessness will end up being in the same position as this woman, basically crying out for help, to help somebody come out here and help me fix this, help me fix myself, help me where I'm not bleeding on somebody else. And that's figuratively speaking, as far as, you know, out here hurting people because I'm unhealed myself.
No doubt.
So, you know, a lot of people don't understand that aspect of it, but those are the consequences when you run out here and you act tough and you do this and you do that. And people don't understand that these things have consequences. There's a lot of consequences that go on, and people don't understand it. And one of the consequences that you run around here and y'all applauding Kiki and y'all, you know, raving it up with all these women that out of control. And guess what? Y'all feel comfortable because you do it here. And we as men are out here trying to correct you about it, because we understand the longevity of it and we understand the dangers of it. And just like this woman, she ended up catching the wrath of it because she went somewhere else and tried to have that same masculine energy that she had in America, and it ended up getting her jail time in another country. All right, so Houston woman has
Wow.
been detained in Dubai since April, charged with screaming in public and could face jail time. So
Wow.
this is real serious because their laws over there are more strict. Their jail system, their jailhousing is nothing like ours. Even though ours is crap, theirs is worse. So people don't understand that when we're out here checking people on their behavior and we're holding them accountable, it's really for your long being. It's really for your protection. And you guys yell out here that we're not out here protecting you. Yes, we're holding you accountable and telling you to correct your behavior because we're protecting you from the stuff that's outside the US or outside the element when we're not around. And that's exactly what happened because you didn't listen to our protection. Now you end up overseas facing jail time like this young woman. You know.
Wow.
So
I didn't know about that, bro.
Yeah.
Woo, that's heavy.
Yeah, that just happened recently. Like I think a few days ago. It's still ongoing.
Wow.
I saw a press conference that was held by the mother and the brother Quanell X. I think they took him on as a spokesperson for the family. And
Mm-hmm.
they further went down on that. They're still doing investigation. As I understand it, the law, one of the laws that are over there in Dubai in the UAE, it's against the law for women to they're saying raise their voice, but I'm pretty sure it's more than raise their voice. They're not allowed to basically be causing a ruckus. You screaming at men, you hooting and hollering, all that crazy stuff that tends to happen a lot. That's not permitted over there.
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is
it was just a
considered
hearsay
disrespectful.
thing, right? And apparently they have, as I understand, they actually have a surveillance camera that's there inside the business where she was going off at. So they'll actually be able to verify whether the claims of the shop owner there are legitimate or not, or what have you. But if they are, I don't think they have any reason to lie about that. If that's the case, she's likely going to be doing a little bid there. And they
Mm,
even went so far as to also commandeer her passport as well. But
mm,
the thing is, I've seen some people talk about how, oh, I'm never going to go to these places. They're crazy, whatever. They're too strict. They're too harsh, whatever. The thing is, and what's funny is, especially now, the last several years, the whole concept of traveling, going out places has really popped off and bloomed. Now the thing to do is travel.
Yeah.
I'm even seeing people making it part of the relationship requirement. So I want a significant other I can travel with, or if you don't have a passport, don't talk to me, all kind of stuff like that. But the reality is, when you go abroad to different places, that's when you get to realize just how abnormal a lot of the normalized behaviors that we have here are.
mm,
Real
And you can
talk.
say what you want to say about the United Arab Emirates. Oh, that's crazy. That's extreme. They can't do that. That's harsh. They're a theocracy. That's the religious thing. Whatever. No matter what you say, the reality is that America, not these other places, America is the place that has ridiculous, over the top incarceration rates.
mm,
No other country in all the countries that the U.S. has beef with, the countries that we talk shit about, the Chinas, the Russian, all them other places, no other country comes close to incarceration rates that the United States has.
Real talk.
We warehouse as harsh and intense some of these punishments are. America warehouses people like nobody else. No other country has a whole prison industrial complex where people get paid and kicked off on the back end for housing people.
mm,
And
Mm-hmm.
who are the people who's on the brunt of this mass incarceration over here? Black people.
mm,
So the
Real
reality
talk.
is, you're better off as a black person in terms of laws and violations. You're more at risk of getting locked up and doing time over here than you are in the United Arab Emirates.
How
And I
about
know a
that?
number of people who go abroad, and when they actually have some good behavior, when they actually have some broad upsy about them, I've heard them come back with stories about how, once the people over there saw that they weren't the typical Americans, they were treated even more warmly, very friendly. They got discounts on things. They were treated with extra hospitality, and they were
Mm-hmm.
complimented. Wow, you guys conduct yourselves so well, because many Americans are known for going abroad and cutting the fool.
Yep.
And not just the black folk too. We just saw what was that, the beginning of the year or last year? That white kid that went over to Korea and he went defacing some mural or whatever, and they had to do a whole thing where the president had to go and negotiate to get him released.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing with Brittany Griner and the hemp package, whatever she had over there, the vape cartridges, whatever. You
Right.
know,
And
so
the white guy who got caned years back.
right.
Yeah.
And that was incarceration, just Kane. But you
Mhm.
know, so there's a reputation that these tourists go abroad and they don't know how to act. Even with the passport boys, you had some dudes that are getting bounced out because they don't know how to conduct themselves.
Mm.
It's insane.
But there's a lot of behaviors and a lot of this stuff, going back to the topic of the night, a lot of these things are elements that are hyped up and spearheaded by a lot of these celebrities, where these celebrities,
Yeah.
these music artists, whatever, they popularize being ratchet, acting out,
Yeah.
doing all kind of crazy nonsense. And so it
Mm.
becomes part of your culture, becomes part of your behavior. So now when you go abroad in places, you tap into default booger behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real
That's what it
shit.
is. And
Mhm.
these places don't have a whole lot of tolerance. One of the reasons why they don't have as much nonsense like this going on over there is because they don't have tolerance for it. There's
Yeah.
too much tolerance over here for the nonsense.
Way too much.
Way
Way
much.
too much. That's real. Agreed.
And
They said that.
and for the
I remember.
record, and real quick, so let me cut in real quick. And for
Go
the
ahead.
record, I do hope that sister gets the case cleared up and she's able to come home soon.
Mm.
Um, you know, I'm sure this will be a lesson she doesn't forget, and I hope this is a lesson for many other people as well too. Hopefully,
Yeah.
this isn't a situation that's going to have lingering ramifications for her. But let this be a cautionary tale. Learn how to conduct yourself. There's smart ways by handling things and wrong ways by handling things.
Correct.
Um, you know, first and foremost, you know you're in a country like that where you have a strong male dominated presence like that. The first thing, do you feel that you're being unfairly handled, whatever? Call your husband if you were there with your husband. Call your boyfriend if you're there with him. If you travel with a homeboy, call him. Or
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you would have checked in with somebody at the embassy, whatever. But hit up a mail voucher to come and handle that on your behalf. Go call them the big
Yeah.
guns.
But
Yeah.
they don't need no man. What you mean? I'm just saying.
I
You
was
feel
fighting
me?
so hard to not go there, and I'm
Come
mad you
on,
just
bro.
made.
They don't need no man. When they getting their ass whooped in them goddamn Korean nail shops and they beating them with brooms and shit, what's the first thing they say? Why the men's ain't protecting us? Right?
Hmm.
But you don't need no man. Which one
This
is
is
it?
why this is why I can't be a good person, because every time I try, I just get pulled back into
No,
it.
I'm there. I'm there with you, brother. I'm there with you. I hope the sister comes home. I hope the sister comes home. I hope there's no serious charges filed on her. I hope she learns from this. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
as a person who gets out here and stand hard in the paint for sisters, you understand what I'm saying? I
Yep.
literally do this. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? White supremacists creeping up on this sister. I'm standing there. What you gonna do? I've
Yep.
been there. You understand what I'm saying? I'd have
Yeah.
slapped the white off his ass. No pressure. You understand? But
Yeah.
I
Love it.
gotta listen to this. I don't need no man. Men ain't shit. Men don't protect black women. Bullshit all day, every day. And a lot of brothers are starting to kind of, get that sentiment. They're starting to get that feeling. It's like, yo, what if we just kind of fall back? That's what a lot of brothers are starting to say. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I get on brothers' ass. Anytime that I see one of these videos or I hear about a brother that just stood there and watched something happen to a sister, I get on their ass. You understand? Because I love my sisters and I want to see my sisters safe and I want to see them protected. But one hand washes the other.
Yeah.
You can't constantly talk down on brothers, shit on brothers, talk about how brothers ain't this and brothers ain't that, so forth and so on, like a lot of sisters do. And this Kiki Palmer situation is part and parcel of what I'm saying. They are glorifying and putting Keke Palmer on a pedestal for having done absolutely nothing of consequence. They are glorifying the image of the Jezebel. And anytime a sister presents themselves with class, that sister is attacked. The fuck is wrong with y'all? You
Correct.
know, now my sisters that are riders, you know, I rock with you. I'm not talking to you. But those of you out there that coddle these chicken heads and make up an excuse every and any time a female does something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? The you can do wrong, you can do no wrong if you have titties caucus. You understand what I'm saying? Those people. I'm talking to you. What is wrong with you? Do you not understand? You're not helping your sisters when you do that. You're not being helpful. I'm just saying, I'll land my plane because my head will explode up here talking about this shit. It doesn't make sense. It's just not practical. You know, men are your protection mechanism. And for those of you out there talking about how black men don't protect black women, who the hell else protects black women?
Yeah.
What are you even talking about? I can name brothers off the top of my head that died protecting black women.
You know, it's crazy that this happens all the time. And what's disgusting is fairly often these men are unsung heroes.
All the time.
We just had not just had, that's just not true, but I think I want to say just before the pandemic, or it could have been slightly afterwards. But no, just before the pandemic, we had that brother. I forgot his name, but he was my spirit animal for about a good 7 weeks. My brother with his nice little cowboy hat on. He came and put boots to asses on a white supremacist that came to try to harm some sisters. And he
Yeah,
became the talk of the town. He was the hero.
that's what's
And so
up.
there was no talk about how black men don't protect black women.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as the story faded out the news cycle, it was back to black men don't protect black women. Then there was a brother up in New York who's leaving the club,
Mm-hmm.
and the hostess who he was very chatty with, she was being attacked and assaulted by a patron who came back. He got in the dude's face, ended up getting killed.
Uh-huh.
Single father, left his daughter an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
There was all kind of praise from, oh, he was so brave. Oh, thank God for what he did. As soon as it was out the news cycle, black men don't protect black women.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
It's become and you know, we got to be honest, it has become a thankful job. The very least
Thankless.
that could be done is for the whole mythos of black men not protecting black women, that could at least be put to bed with all these martyrs and the stories of what actually happening being championed more, because this happens, doesn't always get told like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we keep dismissing security and then get surprised when security doesn't show up for their shift.
Come on now. Come on. You don't need them. You don't
They
need
don't
them.
do any. They don't do anything. Just save your ass last week, but they don't do anything. Okay,
Right.
well, no.
What did she say? I don't need no nigga. I need the
Okay.
bag. First of all, I told y'all multiple times to be very, very suspicious of women who refer to men as a group as niggas. That shows you off rip that you're dealing with a low quality, very low frequency female. You understand what I'm saying? Then when you turn right around and you say, hey, I don't need niggas. All I need is a bag. You know, what are your values like? I worry about that child. I worry for that child because clearly you have a mother who has nothing in her head. She has nothing to teach that child.
I'm
I
always
don't.
concerned for those children, always,
It's
because remember the
scary.
first teacher.
It's scary that you have a bird brain out here like this raising a child, and not even just her, a whole nation of them. Because these women, they retweet and repost and change Keke Palmer to their profile picture because they feel like that's putting a thumb in the eye of black men generally. When you see that, brothers, when you see that out there, understand that that is vicarious disrespect. They're saying, fuck you niggas. basically, by way of Keke Palmer. Because again, she didn't do anything of consequence. What did she do that was so great? You got sisters out here that actually do great things every day. You know,
And they don't get that treatment. They don't
they
get
don't get
deified
that
like that.
treatment.
Someone just the other day, I remember when you talk about all the different cases, all the different bird brains that get talked about and exalted. I remember there was about a good 2 week period where Miss Savannah James, formerly Brinson,
Mhm.
was getting her flowers, and I was very thrilled to see that I made it a conscious effort to go ahead and throw a love on every single post I saw about it.
No doubt.
She was getting great praise, whatever. But I saw men especially, but I saw some women ask as well too. Why did Savannah not get praised, or when all these other women, the Aisha Currys, whatever, when they're getting venerated, getting their flowers, and they're getting the thumbs up, why don't I see Savannah getting mentioned in this light?
Because what I just
Because
said,
she's not problematic.
she's not
Because
problematic.
being a solid, being a stable, functional woman in a healthy, happy marriage relationship with a high with a peak value man,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful children, successful, no nonsense or funny business going on in the family,
Yeah.
no drug issues, no alcoholism issues, no DUIs, nothing, wholesome as you can get.
Right.
That's not attractive.
Not attractive. You know, and funny you mentioned Savannah James. That is a good example. Don't get me wrong, but an even better example. Because the thing is with Savannah James, I get it. You know, I don't feel like she gets the credit she should either, but people don't really know what she does, right? She just kind of, people look at her as LeBron James' wife. So a lot of women write her off because of that. But what about somebody like Nicole Lynn? What about somebody like Nicole Lynn, who is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, well, the second highest now since the Lamar Jackson deal. But she negotiated his deal and various other NFL deals. You know, she's with Clutch Sports. She's extraordinarily accomplished, kicking ass and taking names. This lady carries herself like the empress of some damn country somewhere. I mean, you don't ever see her looking or acting like less than a lady.
This is the closest that you can get to if you want to go ahead and apply the label of a boss bitch. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
no more boss than that.
Right.
She's not barefoot in the barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen like some women would try to describe a Savannah James. She's out there. She's working in a very competitive field,
Yes.
executing at a high level,
Yes.
doing big time deals in these corporate boardrooms with
Mm-hmm.
these high level multi-million dollar and billion-dollar executives, whatever,
Right.
in a male dominated sport, in a male dominated industry, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
And
again,
and
she's nobody's spirit animal.
most importantly, she's doing it while still remaining black. She ain't selling out. She's still remaining black, unapologetically black. She's married to a black man. Most of the people that she helps are black men. Oh, wait, maybe that's why they don't praise her. You understand what I'm saying? Wait, what did I just say? Hold on now. Maybe that's why they don't praise her. There is a low-key misandrist undertone
Hmm.
in the general female discourse that we see today, just broadly speaking, where if you're not attacking men on some level, or if you're not berating men or sticking your thumb in the eye of men on some level, then what you got to say is really not important. See, I would think that they would have somebody like this who they'd be posting and talking about and reposting and so forth, because this lady actually did something. She actually has done something of consequence. But no, you want to repost Keke Palmer because she went out the house half naked and told her dude, to go take a hike when he said something about her. That says a lot about your character. And every single female who is with that shit and reposted it and supports it, you are all low energy. I said what I said. You understand what I'm saying? You are all low energy and low quality because your mama didn't raise you like that, especially the older women. The ones that make my head explode are these females in their 40s and 50s. You know your mama didn't raise you like that. You know it. I know it because I know your mama and the type of woman your mama was. You understand what I'm saying? I know that your mama tell you, get your ass in the house, put some clothes on, quick. But you got this weird dynamic out here where you have the older ones of us trying to be like the kids. What the hell is up with that? And that's across genders, mind you. You got guys out
Yep.
here in their 40s, talking about drinking lean, still got their pants sagging. You know what I'm
They the
saying?
biggest goon.
What?
They real niggas. Like
You talk about they real niggas still
sir,
in the strip club 5 days a week, and you in your early 50s.
sir, it's time for you to start putting on the Jordan golf apparel.
That's what I'm saying.
Where your Tiger Woods sweatsuit at, man? Come on.
But it goes right back to celebrity worship, because what all these rappers talk about? Drinking lean, making it rain in the club, all this type of shit. That's all they talk about. So again, even with the men, you got them out here doing the same thing, emulating the behavior of these children that don't know their head from their ass. And we have a nation to build in the meanwhile, and a community that's struggling and suffering because everybody's focus is on anything but bettering the community. And you got people out here that know better, just sitting on the fence, acting like ain't nothing wrong, and telling you what you need to do as far as, you don't need to criticize them. You don't need to talk about them. Man, if you don't shut your ass up, bruh, we have a serious problem out here with people. We have a problem with cowardice. People that are just
Right.
afraid to speak and just make it plain. Call shit what it is. That post that Ant made talking about, where the women said, guys, do you ever, tell your homeboys, hey, this is the quality girl, you should be good to her. And all the guys was like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? We need to see more of that in all facets and aspects of manhood. We see our brothers getting out of control. And y'all sisters need to do the same thing. It's too many people out here just running amok, acting stupid. This anything goes culture ain't working, bruh. And just like the man said, in a few years, Kiki is gonna be out here just like Lala and just like Taraji. You understand what I'm saying? Whining about how she can't find a good man, but look how you
Lisa
behave.
Ray.
It's man. Look, listen.
Vivica A. Fox. I mean,
don't get me started. It's a list.
We got it's a whole assembly line.
It's a list, and I don't think
it's a proven track. It's a career path that has a proven track record of failure.
And they keep walking into
Ain't
the
no
trap.
wins from the camp.
They keep walking into the trap, eyes wide shut.
But the thing about it is this: at least with those women that have some level of fame, so they have a better insulated bubble to live in to shield them from their delusions, and also have resources and wealth, so they can at least be dysfunctional in different places, so they can at least have a sort of war chest where they can go and try their best to run away from themselves. They can hop over to the Maldives, they can jump over to Fiji, they can be at this red carpet premiere, they can literally keep themselves busy and occupied, so they don't have to sit and dwell in their dysfunction like that. They're still running from themselves, and no matter how far away they run to, they're going to bring themselves with them, but at least they can kind of get some space for a second or two. What's going to happen to these regular women who are not at that level is exactly what was the fate of that sister that in that video that Ant shared before, where she's going to be crying, finally realizing, you know what, this shit ain't work. I gambled on the wrong horse, and it came up snake eyes. And in many cases, it's going to happen, if it happens at all, past the point where it can actually do them some good. At that point, it'll just be about getting yourself back on the right track to sort of kind of adjust the record.
No doubt.
It's going to be, it's good to finally get there. To quote Drake, better late than never, but never late is better. You can course correct and you can finally close out your life saying I got on the right track, and that's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be amazing if you could do that so much earlier and actually enjoy some of the fruits and the benefits that come with that instead of just doing it just, you know, to set the record straight.
Mm,
All facts. All facts. We got some
def-
comments in the house. Anubis TV is commenting, we now live in the age of conscious negligence. They know it's ignorant. They just don't care because social media says immaturity is cool. And too many Megans and Cardis, not enough Asadas. Brother, you said it all.
Church.
Listen,
Church.
not even not enough. Not one. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any Asadas out here. The closest thing I can think of, well, you know, I can't say any, but the problem is they don't have the support of the Megans and the Cardis. You know, sisters like Erica Lachey. Erica Lachey is a rider. You know what I'm saying? Like Jade Arendelle, other sisters like that. Vicky Dillard, these type of people. You know,
Right.
they have, you know, some people who follow them. Strangely enough, and unfortunately enough, most of them are men. You understand? And you know, they do have a following, but they don't have, you know, the 20, 30, 40 million follower type of, you know, following that they really need to be the most effective. In fact, you know, whereas these are sisters who are putting in a lot of work, like I said, most of the people who follow and listen to them are not sisters. You know, and I remember a sister that we know had got real upset because I said at one time, you know, how there are really no thought leaders, you know, of consequence among women. And, you know, she was real mad. And I was like, okay, well, name two. She couldn't name one, but she's upset that I said that. And the thing is, I know the few thought leaders that they are, but she doesn't. Some of those sisters that I just named, you know, and it just goes back to this this thought process that among sisters, and I may be criticized among sisters for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. I don't give a damn. You can see me. You understand? Among sisters, a lot of sisters don't respect the intelligence of sisters. People talk about how men don't respect the intelligence of sisters, and sometimes that is true. You understand? This show is about balance. We're not sitting up here just caping for any one side. But a lot of times, sisters do not value the intellect and, you know, level of introspection that a lot of other sisters have, nor do they look for those qualities in other sisters. They looking for, you know, who can give the best beauty tutorials and, you know, who can give them advice on where to go to get an affordable BBL and all that type of bullshit. You understand? But sisters, I'm here to tell you, if nobody else has, you have a duty to your community to have something in your head and in your spirit to pass on to your children. The woman is the first teacher of the child. And you can't be running around here, that airheaded bird brain raising all these kids and think it's going to be gravy. Just don't work like that.
Can we acknowledge the fact that there is a strong anti-intellectual lean?
Heavy.
Can we do that?
Heavy.
And let me be clear about this, because I don't think we understand what that really looks like. We might have a lot of women who are enrolled in school. We know that black women are the number one, the top enrolled demographic, not educated, because that's a misnomer. That was
Yeah.
the statistics that came
Right.
from were glossed over, and this is part of, again, being anti-intellectual. You know, you don't have the ability to properly read things, or even worse, you just misconstrue things for your own mental boost that's unjustified.
Of course.
But black women are the most enrolled in higher education, not the most
Mhm.
educated.
Right.
But we have a lot of sisters that might be educated in terms of careers and work-based education. In other words, we have a lot of sisters who have the ability to be cogs in the machine, so to speak. I don't necessarily mean that to be denigrating or anything,
I got you.
but we have a lot of sisters that have a lot of that technical know-how. They're very educated when it comes to doing their jobs, performing their duties. They're
Mm-hmm.
competent for the most part in their areas of study, but in terms of actual education, as relates to intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
practical application, because
Yes.
that's the ultimate test of intelligence. If your intelligence can only serve you in a work environment, but not in your everyday life, that's not intelligent.
It's not. It is
And
not.
exactly what Anubis said, smart dumb people. I remember I was I didn't even I can't even say I was talking to a sister. I was a while ago I was trying to get to know a sister,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out we didn't get very far in the process, but no, she let me know that she's an attorney, and I was like, okay, interesting, cool. So we kind of chopping it up.
Mm-hmm.
So she said that she liked to read, so I'm like, okay, well, I love reading, so what are some of the books that you're interested in? I was
Mm-hmm.
hoping she was going to mention some titles or some genres we can chop it up about.
She starts talking about
And she told
them
me,
Zane books.
to be honest, I would have dug that. She said the only two books that she says that she reads the Bible and she reads law textbook, because she was primarily in Goodfield too. She was primarily working in the legal field
Mm.
for small businesses. She was getting in on that medicinal marijuana industry. So a lot of the books were related to that. But pretty much she
Mm.
said she reads for work and she reads the Bible. So I'm like, do you read anything else? She's like, no, that's one of the things I read. Now, I have no problem whatsoever with a sister reading the Bible. I think that's a beautiful thing. I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem with a sister reading legal textbooks. I mean, that's high end stuff.
Right.
But there's no other kind of actual reading going on.
And the
Not
fact,
even
Yeah,
fiction, not even
because
anything else, because you have to read multiple things. I like reading mystery books. My favorites are action thrillers. I like some comedy books. Every so often, I read an autobiography too. I like some self help books. I like the occasional book on finance. But I like reading a number of different things because it expands my mind. It opens me up to other
yes, it
things.
does.
It's
Yes, it
how I
does.
keep
yeah,
learning. But also, reading is critical if you're going to be a critical thinker, because if you're not taking in different information, if you're
mhm,
not learning different viewpoints,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have anything else to kind of balance the thoughts in your head or to get a well-rounded perspective. If
Real
all
talk.
you do is specialized reading,
yeah,
you book smart, but you game goofy out in the streets. And we see this happen. How many times have we seen sisters that are high-powered sisters? They're big-time attorneys, they're doctors, they're psychologists, they're these CEOs, entrepreneurs, and they're great in their fields, but they got Pookie and Ray Ray and them running circles around them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because because the thing about it is, it's the boule mentality, right? So the boule mentality, this is why fellas like myself and you guys can destroy any boule there is, because what happens is the boule has tunnel vision to education. So they have the tunnel vision going towards the indoctrination. So when you look at the books that she's reading, they're indoctrinating books. Because to think about it, the law books, you really have your hands in handcuffs when you are basically being a lawyer under the system, opposed to you reading the law books yourself and becoming your own lawyer and representing yourself in the courtroom. I can be more effective reading law books, studying law context, and going in as a representative versus me having a lawyer or me being a lawyer who now is bounded by a gag order where I can only say my ceiling is cut to a limit and I can't go over that because I have to stay in the realms of being indoctrinated and controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
yeah,
this is one of the reasons why they got rid of Johnny Cochran, because he took that information, but he also went above and beyond and passed the ceiling, which they didn't want him to do.
Yes, he
That
did.
became part of his unapologetic side when he was being taught and grown and being raised and groomed under the superiority of the lawyers that he was raised with. So
he
people got
wasn't
to
just trying to
understand
function in the system. He was actually trying to use it to actually create change, which
exactly.
Yes.
is a no-no.
Is that exactly? So
Mm-hmm.
when you look at, I always talk about this all the time because I say to myself, how is it that you have a high power debate team in Harvard, and we look at Harvard as the pinnacle of colleges on a collegiate level, right? That's the highest level. That's like the highest level of college you can go to. Like, you come out of Harvard, people are going to give you jobs left and right. That's the ideology and the sense branding that is across globally, right? But then how do you have an elite debate team that get their ass crushed by some brothers that was up in prison, murdered them on a debate scale? You see what I'm saying? And the brothers in prison, all they did was just sit back and they just researched and they did the debate because they got time on their hands. This, you know what I'm saying? They're disciplined now. That's the only thing that separates us from excelling way past the norm, is when we take the time as Black people, we take the time to discipline ourselves. When we get in that discipline mode, we can excel way past any other race of people. This is why they give us the distraction. This is why they have all of this stuff and put us in the hood and in these environments that create all type of distraction and things like that for us to get away from studying and putting our elements of grinding and art and to get down into that heavy discipline action. Just like they give us the low-end jobs, and that way when you have 60, you working 60 hours a week, you ain't gonna try to come home and come do some productive stuff or try to work you and your family up out of there. You gonna want to jump and watch the TV, bathe, eat. By the time you do that, you ready to wake up again the next day to go to work. So it's a well-greased system that takes us away from our natural element and our superior element of real intellectualness. Because remember, we as a people have something to hold our heads on. When we talk about illiteracy, you know, we overcame illiteracy faster than any group of people in such a short period of time. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that statistic. You feel me? So when you look at all of these inventions that's coming up, a lot of these people are Black individuals, Black children. Some of them come from over in Africa. And guess what? All they do is just pick them up, take their intellectual property, patent it, and then you sit back and say, damn, this company, this white man or this other race of person is a brilliant man. And you don't even know the whole time they just gave this guy $50,000 because he lived in a damn hut in Africa. And he was like, shit, that's the most I'll ever see. And he sold his intellectual property, and that person took that 50 grand as an investment and turned that 50 grand into 50 million. So we got to understand, like, there is a seriousness when it comes to really being educated on a grassroots level than being educated and indoctrinated level. So when I see a lot of these people run around here and getting these degrees, yeah, some of them work in your favor depending on what area you go into. But a lot of those degrees, you got to understand, a lot of brothers out here that ain't even got the degrees making way more money than you. And
shout out Ebony K. Williams.
You know what I'm saying? They're making way more money than you. You have 3 or 4 degrees, and it's a dude that jump in the truck making 6 figures, and you sitting there have to, not only did you get the degrees, you got to pay all that money back. Those degrees wasn't free. That's where the slavery comes in. See, this is what people don't understand in that system. This is where the slavery comes in. They don't have to put chains on your feet or around your neck, because all they got to do is say, hey, come get this degree. Now, this degree you're going to get is going to run you about $80,000. Oh, you want a second degree? That second degree for your master's going to run you another $40,000. Oh, you want your PhD? That's going to run you another $40,000. So now you up to $160,000, and the interest rates on it is not the regular interest rates. This shit is crazy. I know a person, mother, who is 60 years old, still paying on her damn loans. You know what I'm saying? So where's the joy out of all of that when you still have to, at that age, still have to pay back a lot of that money? You know what I'm saying? So we have to, this is why I said we're going to get into a program where we want to get a financial advisor and somebody inside the school system that is very knowledgeable in that area, and have our children in our community go out here and get the degrees in the right way, without having the expense of debt, heavy debt like that on their back. Because guess what? If you want us to be providers as men, and you out here acting real reckless with your certifications and degrees, then when I come with you, your degrees and your debt comes on my back. This is why a lot of guys are walking away from a lot of y'all women, because it's not that y'all don't have the qualifications. Now that you pass the qualifications, you come with too much debt. I'm not going to be a slave to your, bad choices. That's
I've done it a few times.
I'm going to do.
Yep.
You feel me?
I've
And
done
I
it a
don't
few
advise
times. Yes.
any man to do that. I don't advise any man to do that. And even with women, I don't advise any women to go out here when the guys out here slanging they dick and don't have dick discipline and are worked up about $40 or $50, $60,000 of back child support. I don't advise you to go and marry a man and then have that type of burden on your wallet as well. And you're a woman out here paying his neglect and his recklessness of his penis. I don't advise that for women. You feel me?
It's a bad look.
We have to look at on that side where we gotta start being more strategic and more disciplined in our actions. And this goes what we were saying, that when you live your life reckless, like a Kiki is living and she's spiraling, somebody, a sister, because most of the brothers, they're not gonna really listen to, but there gotta be a sister that grab her and say, sis, this ain't it. And I just showed you the video where this woman was just crying. You know what I'm saying? She's crying of her reckless behavior and realized that she was going in the wrong direction. And no sister, no elder, no OG woman came and grabbed her and gave her the facts, gave her the real deal. Like they let you spiral down and say, oh, well, that's her, not me. Nah, because if she spirals into our community. And when it spirals in our community, remember, she said she has children. Now she spiraled, that spiralness goes down into the children. And now her children is out here doing the same continuous stuff. And this is where we're trying to break generational curses. And this is how we keep the generational curses going. You got to step up as a community and say, hey, enough is enough. That's some bullshit. And I'm holding you accountable. When we start holding a lot of people accountable, I'm telling you, you're going to see the change in our community. And I land my plane on that.
No, brother, you said a mouthful right there. And let me just put it out there, man. The problem with what you said is that you speak as though sisters have each other's back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as you have said before, and as many of us have witnessed, sisters look at each other as competition, and more often than not, they sabotage each other.
Correct.
Particularly when they feel as though another sister is going to see some success that they have not. See, it's okay as long as you're not doing better than them. They can rock with you as long as you might be coming up, but you're not quite where they at. But when they see you, getting your weight up, you done married a man and y'all done bought a house together. Now y'all got a new car. Now y'all this, y'all that. Y'all gonna start a business. Y'all talking about that. You can almost set your watch by it. That many women, not all, there's some sisters out here who really ride and are really down, but a good percentage of sisters, you can kind of set your watch by it. They're gonna try to sabotage you. They're going to intentionally not let you know that what you doing ain't it, so that you can fall on your face. That's what they did to Lala. Lala Anthony pretty much said it. You understand what I'm saying? She's like, yeah, all these people kept telling me to leave them, da, 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 da. Where are they now? I'm over 40, can't find nobody, ... this, that, and the third. I'm unhappy, I'm lonely. Where are they now? I'm just saying. It's a cold game out here. And, not just sisters, some brothers do that little slick shit too. But, we have to get in the business, like you said, of kind of being each other's keeper. I see what you're doing is wrong. Like you said, if we can, get to that point where we start holding each other accountable, it will it will work volumes to correcting not just the dating and relationship crisis in our community, but every other foul situation that's going on in our community. It all leads back to someone who's not being accountable.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are a strong, resilient people. You know, and if we can fix that one thing right there. That's why, you know, when certain people, I don't even talk to them no more. You know, the accountability duckers, where they always got a deflection and an excuse for some shit. I don't even take them seriously no more. They're time wasters. You know, we need to get with like-minded people and work on solution and disseminate those solutions throughout the community. For instance, to speak to your point that you just made, you know, we're talking about debt and so forth and so on, and you know, people graduating college and having all this debt and bringing that debt into relationships. Okay, I was telling my wife this the other day. One good way that I know to get around that is, you know, I used to be a financial advisor at a bank, you know, so maybe that has a little bit to do with it, right? But you know, I use this for myself. I got with a good company, a good solid company, and it clicked in my head. It was available the whole time. I worked there 15 years. Should have happened a long time ago. It clicked in my head. Damn, they got tuition reimbursement here. Damn. Okay, let me go sign up for that. I went through college. I got my 4-year degree. It is entirely paid for because of tuition reimbursement. It's a lot of companies that have tuition reimbursement. And anytime I talk to somebody who doesn't have a degree, I'm on their ass, man. That's a benefit that's there for you, that you can get your college degree and not pay anything.
Mm.
In fact, you can get paid for getting a college degree because you can still claim it on your taxes. So you get that money back again. You understand what I'm saying? You can still, and for some people, they can still get financial aid. So you can get that money back again. You understand what I'm saying? You can actually get paid to go to school. I know that sounds crazy, but you can. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't encourage anybody to do anything unscrupulous, you dig, and get yourself caught up. But for some people, the parameters, you know, they don't quite make enough money, but they make some money. They just qualify for financial aid, so they can get financial aid and they can get tuition reimbursement. You understand? You get out of college, you got your degree, you don't owe nobody nothing. I got a 4-year degree, and I'm so glad I did that for myself because some bullshit went down. I ended up losing my very good job that I was at for 15 years. And before I could say Ambasol, I had another job paying more money than I was making there because I had my college degree to fall back on. And while I was in that company, I had no interest in IT, but I got a promotion that was IT adjacent. My new position was IT adjacent. So I hustled. Shit. I started talking to some of the guys on the other side of the company. Hey, man, how this work? What's this? What's that? Where I go to get this? Oh, I need a certification. Okay, got it. Boom. I got my ass on the internet. Boom, boom, boom. Got my test ready. Da, 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 da. Okay. Now I'm sliding. I got a cert. I got a degree. I got another degree. You got to hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you know how to hustle, and there's one solution to what we were just talking about, get in your job's tuition reimbursement program. Because I was there for 15 years. I think it was year 11. I finally did it. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. You dig? But we need to start taking advantage on a very basic level of some of the benefits is right in front of our face. A lot of times we just don't. You dig?
Yeah, I think we want to. We definitely definitely going to look into a show that we can really start, because, like I said, I don't want people to think that we're not trying to promote you to go to college. We just want you to do anything in life. We want you to do it the correct way. There's always a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. Just like buying a car, there's a right way to buy a car, and there's a wrong way to buy a car.
Yes, there is.
So we just want to push you in the right direction. And if it's to save little money here and there, that's more money that goes into something else. You know, we don't know what your household looks like, but anybody could use extra cash in certain areas of their household. That's what we want to do. So
Real
we're
talk.
definitely gonna create
Correct.
and craft that show up for you guys and have the professionals on here. So that way you guys have any questions, you have somebody here that can give you that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and get into the research into finding out the qualified people to do that, and also do research on the jobs that's out there that do the tuition reimbursement, like Major just stated.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely look out for that. So we definitely want to get into our first topic of the week, which is our Trendly weekly topics, right? All right.
Let's go. Yeah.
So we got some good ones, man.
Mhm. All right.
So we should start it off with a bang. Literally, we should start it off with a bang. So no jumper. So, all right, so as you guys know,
That's how you feel this evening. That's how you feel.
hey, you know, celebrity worship, right? You know, a lot of people
Or
worship
pulled out
No
that
Jumper.
shotgun, man.
You know,
Oh
a
my
lot of
God.
people, a lot of people worship Adam 22. So let's do
Real
it, right?
talk. Real
So
talk.
no jumper as Adam 22 says, allowing his porn star wife to get taken to Pound Town with this black dude has been amazing for both of them. It's officially been a week since I let my wife do a porn with another guy. I felt a little jealous at first, but overall, it wasn't that big of a deal. She's watched me sleep with hundreds of girls, and it's never affected our relationship. Sleeping with that
Yep.
gentleman has been amazing for both of us, career and business. Overall, I'm glad that we did it, and I'm happy to report her vagina has returned to its original pre-BBC size. So he says that, and a lot of times guys will always say things like that in reality, but when you put yourself out there on the internet, you have to take it. And I think, to be honest with you, I think it's been taking a real toll on him, because they had this one guy who posted the pictures of his wife, right? So the guy was like, look,
Yo.
I don't care how much money or how much successful Adam 22 has or believes himself to be, he will forever be considered a cook. For a man to let a woman savage his reputation like that, and for him to smile through it, makes it even worse. Proof that a woman who has power over you will destroy you,
Real talk.
right?
Mhm.
And to let you know, I was like, damn, I didn't even know. I thought it was like a misspell of the word.
Oh no, it's a
So I was
thing.
like,
Nope.
so I
It's
was
a
like,
thing. Yeah.
look, so I just wanted to bring it up to all the other people that might have thought it was so it's referred to as a weak or severe man, often used as a conspicuous term for a man with moderate or progressive political views. A man whose wife is sexually unfaithful. Now, the real term that he used, which was the urban term, which is a man who lets his wife or girlfriend have sex with other men. Often the man lets her do whatever she wants and treat him like shh. All right.
Mhm.
So that's the term. And I turn it over to you guys. What do you feel about that situation?
From no jumper to no pumper. You. Oh boy.
Where do
Yeah.
I begin?
There's just so much and so little at the same time.
Oh man.
Um.
Oh.
I mean, first off, pages worth 1,000 words. There's no going back from that. And I got a lot of what Mans was saying in there.
Mhm.
That's ego talk. Let's be honest. And that's the
Yeah.
number one
Bullshit.
way how I'm positive that he's not okay. He's trying to
Yeah.
be okay.
Exactly.
He's trying to fight and soldier through it.
Yeah.
He's not okay.
He's not.
Because I'm looking at what he wrote there, and that's his account. I mean, if I was to pretend that I actually follow No Jumper and Adam 22, I would be lying.
Mm-hmm.
You should never believe a thing that comes out of my mouth again if I were to say that.
Mhm.
However, I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm not every man, but I'm a man. And I know other men. I talk with other men. I'm friends with other men. I speak and chat and talk with other men from different walks of life, different races, different creeds, whatever. I talk to dudes who are into that kind of lifestyle and who are about that life. I talk to dudes who would never in a million years, if their life was on the line, go with that and everything in between. So I know
Yeah.
for the most part how we talk.
Yeah.
Men who are really about that life, they don't go ahead and worry about exaggerating whatever. They're at a place where either they're so confident in themselves in their relationship, or where they are so effete and essentially eunuchs that they don't need to use that kind of language, because either way, in either scenario, their identity is established. They know who they are, for better or for worse. It's either he's a weakling and he lets his wife go ahead and do what she wants because that's how she gets her satisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
or he has another dynamic where it's about conquest and domination after the fact, and that's his way of winning her back or whatever, and establishing himself as a dude, or whatever the psychology behind that is. But for
Mhm.
dude to come up and talk about cat about, she's watching her sleep with hundreds of women, Adam, no, she hasn't. She haven't. I'm not gonna say he doesn't get action. Maybe he doesn't. But if she's watched you lay it down with other women, it ain't no hundreds.
Yeah.
And I'm positive it's not dozens either, Adam.
Man, come on,
No, no,
really,
Yeah.
that's
really.
not true.
Exactly.
And if
And
you
you
were
gotta
really hitting it like that, if you was
yes.
really about that action, that means that you got what the women want. Adam 22 ain't making nobody rich. He ain't breaking off a whole
Exactly.
bunch of bags to a bunch of bras like that either. So if he's hitting it like that, like he says he is, that's because the overall package. Pause. I don't want Cam and Mace to start maybe getting on me, but but if he's really hitting like that, that means he's got the juice. And for the
Yeah.
most part, a woman who has a man like that and is hitting like that, she's not going to be driven to go ahead and get with other dudes. Or at the very least, they're going to be getting in sync. This would not be a case of this is her first time getting it on with another dude doing porn, whatever. It would be an equal
Yeah.
thing. They're swinging and swapping. For her to
Right.
just be sitting back in the wings, watch you getting on this whole time, and now she's just getting active, nah, bruh. Nah.
Yeah. That the
And
eyes rolling in the back of the head and biting the sheets.
by the
If
sheets,
you're if you're not a man who's doing that to your girl and another man is doing that, that shit is even more hurtful
that just
because
became a polygamous relationship. There's three people
yeah,
in that relationship now,
Yeah,
yeah,
whether he
yeah.
knows it or not. He lives there. And something else that jumped out at me when I saw this as well too.
Mm.
Now, again, I don't know these people in depth like that, so it's perfectly
mhm,
possible that I'm wrong. That's fine. I've been wrong before. I'll probably wrong tomorrow. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm feeling confident that if he has been out here getting it on with other women, whether it's been behind her back or, in her face, she's aware of it. I found it very interesting
mhm,
that she's a porn star. Now, I don't want y'all to miss out on this. Don't lose this.
mhm,
Hear this. I found it very interesting. The world of the triple X adult world, very wide, very vast. You got people from all walks of life that do porn actively. For
mhm,
the most part, you have white people, if we're being honest, that over here in America run the porn gamut. You have a lot of presence of black people, but by and
mhm.
large, white people run the game. You have
Yeah,
some black people that are household names, but there's a lot more white people who are household names in those circles.
yeah.
I found it interesting,
Mm. I know
very
where you're going.
interesting.
I know where you're going.
Uh, I'm going there with rocket boots on. I'm moonwalking to that hoe. I'm moonwalking to it. I found it interesting that first and foremost, she didn't seek to get another white male counterpart. She didn't get another. She didn't get a Latino counterpart. She went and got herself a black man to get it in.
Mhm,
Number one. Number two, it didn't escape my notice that she went and got her, and no disrespect to the brother, but she got herself as stereotypical a Negro as you can get.
Mhm.
If you were to go right now into a white person's dictionary and
Uh-huh.
look up the textbook, this is what the Negro is. Tatted up, got his hair, it's not neat and low or anything. Got his hair, all natural, puffed up. And the same with mine, like that, the same way. So ain't
Yeah.
no shade.
Mm-hmm.
Tatted up all over.
Uh-huh.
He looks like what they would put on a poster at a white supremacist meeting when they're warning you about hide your wife, hide your kids. The niggas is out here raping. He
Listen,
looks like that.
he looked
And
just
on
like
top
it.
of that, I don't know. I don't know the brother's name. I've heard it in the past. I don't know his name, but I know that he's a regular on one of those porn networks called Blacked, where basically the whole premise is, white girls being run down by black dudes, either by a single black dude or gang banged by multiple black dudes. I know he at least gets down to that. So basically, she went out and got herself uh super nigga, one of Hillary Clinton's super predators. And based on what I heard from some of the women's reaction, this is a dude that is he packs weapons of mass internal destruction,
Okay. Well, there it
from what
is.
I heard. So
Mm-hmm.
she went and got herself the biggest thing, and this goes back to the way that women operate. And this is why guys have to be careful as well
Mm.
when it comes to women, especially with white women.
Mm.
Dudes might do some stuff that's disrespectful and hurts women's feelings, but when a woman is really cut to the core, it's better if it's the best you can hope for is when she flies off the rails and starts slashing tires and breaking things. When a woman is quietly seething angry, she
Lights
doesn't
out.
just go and get revenge. She doesn't just go and wild out. She goes and she finds the thing or the things that she knows will cut you in your heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She'll
Yeah.
find that thing, and she won't, take a chainsaw to you. She won't go and run you over the mat truck. But on some old school Julius Caesar type stuff, she will take that blade. It'll be a thin blade, but it's gonna be a long blade, and she will slowly stick it in the back and keep pushing all the way to the hilt. And you're gonna feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
She went and got herself public enemy number one in the white supremacist male handbook, a big black nigga.
That's what it is.
And she allowed herself to enjoy every last bit of that. And I know there's usually a bit of acting that's going on with that kind of stuff, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of that she didn't have to try to act very hard. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was very easy to get into character because the character was certainly getting into her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
How
I
about
believe
that?
whether it's because he's been doing whatever for too long, I think he knew good and damn well he didn't have any leg to stand on with her. And
Mm.
so, because she basically gave him, it's like that thing where a dude cheats and he tries to make it up with his wife, saying, "Okay, I'm sorry, you get a hall pass." And get a hall pass. I don't want a hall pass. Then she decides, "Okay, well, I want to lay with your best friend." What? No, she says a hall pass, right? No, it's my best friend. You can't. You said anybody, right? Yeah, but okay, that kind of deal.
That
So
kind of deal.
he's basically got to eat shit and grin. But I know this is aching him, and we're probably going to see some things in the weeks and months to come, what have you. Maybe not,
It's coming.
but
Yeah, it's coming.
I'm
It's
positive
coming.
that none of this sits well in his chest, like he's trying to make it out to be. But
Exactly.
again, time is the revealer of all things. Three things cannot be long hid: the sun, the moon, and the truth. We gonna see.
Exactly.
Real talk. Real talk. Listen, man, at the end of the day, this shit, it was so bugged out, man. I didn't even know what to think when I first saw this story. First of all, I mean, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Okay. Who the fuck marries a porn star? And for
I'm trained
what
too.
purpose? For what purpose? Is there even such a thing as cheating if you're married to a porn star? Secondly, if you're a porn star, then what you do is get on camera and fuck people for money. Why is this even a story? This is what this bitch do. What are we talking about? Like what? What? Why is this a story? This is a porn star. Unless you're just trying to blow her up and, you know, take her name to the next level, which, you know, in black society, nobody cares. And I don't know too many white guys that really watch No Jumper like that. So I don't know what his angle was, other than, to me, it kind of seems like he likes the BBC. You dig?
That's
To
something
me,
else.
which is something else. But see, and
I didn't want to go there, but
you know I'm gonna come
that
with
was
the
another
hatchet, bro.
element.
You know I'm gonna come with the hatchet. Fuck that. I'm going to go where no man has gone before. You dig? Because you don't just, you know, get a big black nigga to fuck your wife for her birthday present. I think it was a birthday or anniversary. It was a gift. It was a gift. You understand? To bang your wife if there's nothing in it for you, my dude. And Anthony, they gave you a half-ass definition for cuck, because a cuck, and the whole word is cuckold. Cuck is an abbreviation, but the whole word is cuckold. And what a cuck is not only, you know, a man who has a wife who fucks other men, but a man who enjoys watching his wife have sex with other men. It arouses him. It turns him on. It's a low-key homoerotic, shout out Will Smith type of thing. You dig? So, did I say that out loud? Okay. But it's that type of shit. You dig? So, when people, because if you remember, when the shit was popping off with Will Smith, people were calling, I don't know if I guess you didn't catch those, but people were calling Will Smith a cuckold. You understand what I'm saying? Because allegedly, I don't know if any of this is true, but supposedly, you know, Will Smith got enjoyment out of, you know, knowing and, you know, watching some of these other men with his wife. That's what people say. I don't know. You dig? But that's the type of mentality that you're dealing with in the Adam 22 situation. It's confirmed with him. You dig? So I can kind of, you know, put a little extras on it. Like, okay, this is probably, you know, something that he enjoys. You dig? Because other than that, what the fuck would you do that for? It doesn't even make logical sense. You know, unless you're just hurting for money like that and you think this is going to, you know, blow you up and put you on another level, you know, and he had to pay this guy, what, $10,000? His rate was $4,000. The guy's rate was $4,000. He paid him $10,000. Yeah. He really wanted to see that shit. You dig? Because you got this for your wife for a gift, your porn star wife as a gift. There's nothing that you can say one way or the other that makes this make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? And people want to go on talking about how this Adam 22 guy is such an alpha, and, you know, he be speaking the real shit about, you know, dating and relationships and all this shit. And this is why I side-eye some of these people, man. You listen to morons like this. It's clearly an extraordinarily beta man. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to tell me that this is your king? Really? This is the guy that you look to for advice. Yeah. Nigga, drink bleach. If you look to this type of dude for any type of advice on women. Same thing with this other guy, Rollo Tomassi, who's supposedly the father of the Red Pill movement, the godfather of the Red Pill movement. I've heard this man speak a couple of times. He ain't talking about nothing of consequence. He ain't talking about nothing real. You know, and what I've come to the conclusion of is there are some people out here, because of the leadership vacuum that is, right? There are some people out here who can take a few quotes from here and a few quotes from there and throw together some bullshit and put a lot of marketing behind it and sell it. Mm-hmm. To gullible people who are just looking for something to believe in. The
Oh yeah.
truth is, it is the truth on both sides of the spectrum. We have talked about, when it's that way for women, but right now we talking to the brothers. You know what I'm saying? There is no logical reason why y'all should be following anybody like this for any type of dating and relationship advice.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just it doesn't make common sense. It's just foolish. It's a non sequitur. Any man who would, allow his wife to sleep with another dude, let alone pay another dude and gift her another dude's dick, is somebody that you clearly cannot trust. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to getting advice for how you need to move out here with women.
Yeah,
And you'd be
definitely.
surprised how many dudes are out here online with the cape on, talking about celebrity worship. That's what we're talking about today, right? How many dudes are out here with the cape on, talking about how, oh, he a real pimp. You know, his marriage is a business arrangement. And, we gotta learn from that. We take these bitches too seriously. You should hear the type of ignorant bullshit that guys are coming up with to try to justify this shit that this dude just did. It just don't make no damn sense.
And these the
Yeah.
same dudes that talking all that. If they find out their girl was in bed with somebody last night,
Oh
they
man,
gonna fly off the rails.
they'll blow their own goddamn brains out.
what
You
what happened to
dig?
pimping? But
Exactly.
it goes to what I was talking about earlier about the absence of critical thinking, the inability to critically think.
Right.
One of the funny thing is, as much as people love to talk about this whole agree to disagree nonsense and tomfoolery,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing how weak people are when it comes to that. Perfect example is I saw a quote earlier from of all people, Ann Coulter, where that first off the
What?
fact that she's still alive was a shock. I hadn't heard that name in
Oh
forever.
my god.
She
Where'd they dig her
actually,
up from?
well, I don't know, but she came back and it was a different flavor of Ann Coulter this time around. She
Mm.
was out here perfectly decimating um the logic against reparations. He was talking about how yes, he's talking about how all these other groups piggyback on the efforts and the legitimacy of Black people needing reparations and needing restoration due to what has been experienced from chattel slavery and Jim Crow semi-slavery and everything else.
What's
And talk
up?
about how all these other groups that are jumping in, they have no business doing as such. Black people are the ones that need these things. And she was spot on. There was not a from the clips that I saw, there was not a single thing she said that was incorrect. It was spot on.
I've seen
And
those
although I
clips.
did see a lot of people agree with what she said, as they should, there's a ton of comments saying, well, just because she said that doesn't mean I'm inviting her to the cookout. Or some people saying, well, she's saying that, but, she's on the conservative side, and they only say things like this when it comes to, to back their arguments. So because of that, I'm not accepting what she's saying. And I'm sitting back like saying, you Nimrods realize that you don't have to necessarily like somebody or to be on board with them just because they said something that you agree with. Right? You can literally recognize and acknowledge that this is a broken clock moment.
Mm-hmm. Real
This
talk.
this person 23 other hours out of the day will have it wrong. However many other minutes out of the day will get it wrong.
Real
But
talk.
when the clock strikes such and such time twice a day, they gonna have something to say. You can do that, and at no point is an endorsement of them. It doesn't mean that you're an ally with them, you're on the same page with them. This is just simply a person stating a fact. I don't care who you hate or dislike. If the person you hate the most in the world says that 5 plus 5 is 10, how stupid would you be to say, "Well, no, I can't stand that person. I don't like that person. So I know they said 5 plus 5 is 10, but I can't accept that answer because they said
Bruh.
have a bleach mojito. I'll whip it up for you. I'll add a pineapple slice and a little fruity colored umbrella for you.
There you
You don't
go.
have to do that. But when people can't critically think, everything is an absolute for them. If this person said one thing they like, that means that they have to like the person.
Exactly.
Or if the person says something that's true, but they don't like the person, then they dismiss the truth because
Mm-hmm.
it came from someone they don't like. They don't have
Right.
the ability to separate one of the two.
Real
They
talk.
can't say, they can't acknowledge that this person who I'm on board with, they said one thing I disagree with, but because they only said one thing, that doesn't mean I have to throw them out altogether. And they
That's them.
can't be on the opposite end and say, well, this person said something that's really, really true. I agree with 100%, but I don't rock with them, so I'm just accepting what they're saying, but my view of stance on them hasn't changed. They can't do that because that's upper level thinking. That's critical thinking.
Because
They
they're
can't do that.
emotional. They're emotional.
Definitely. Definitely.
They're
And
being
people who do
emotional.
celebrity worship, they're typically in that boat because that's low IQ. That's as was it Gil Scott Heron said, people who've checked in and checked out.
Real talk.
Definitely. So, definitely want to go to this next thing real quick because I know we got time. We're limited on time. So,
Go
this
ahead, man.
next one, I want to get y'all take on it real quick. As you guys know, celebrity nonsense does come with celebrity worship. And we see a lot of these women going around here getting BBLs and all these unnecessary surgery. So this IG influencer, Ari Fletcher, new surgery, a bra under her skin screwed into her ribs.
Bruh, I'm done. I'm logging off. Dog, I'm done. I'm done. Really?
This gonna be a
They
new
made that
trend.
shit up, bro. That's a lie. Stop lying on that girl. They made that
Yeah.
up.
This is gonna be a new trend.
Ah,
I'm telling
Bruh.
you, it's nonsense trying to outbig other nonsense. Like it's
Wow.
crazy. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
But I just wanted
I
to
didn't
bring
see
that
that
up.
one coming, bro. I didn't see that one coming, but you know what? At the end of the day, there are certain signs. They said that there will be signs when the end is near. You dig? And if that ain't a sign, I don't know what is. Because, it's bad enough that you have all these women out here that hate themselves. I'm going to call it what it is. People call it cosmetic enhancement. People call it, wearing a weave 365 or a wig 365 24/7. I call it self-hatred. I call it what it is. You got a problem? See me. You understand? But this is taking even that to a new level. What you have to ask yourself, what purpose does it serve to to put surgery on yourself to add a bra to yourself and screw it into your ribs? You don't, I mean, just even on a basic common sense level, you don't think that you could have health complications with a bra attached to your body and screwed into your rib? You don't think that there's a possibility you could have health complications? And are you sure that's not like some fake news? Are you sure?
I don't know. I just ran across it and it was something very interesting.
I don't know, man. That shit. I mean, what? Because I can't even understand how. First of all, the practical reason why you would do something like that, and how that remains without a person having serious health complications. You understand what I'm saying?
It's this actually is old. It's actually from September 14, 2020. Ari Fletcher gets experimental internal bra plastic surgery procedure, and this is from BET.com.
Jesus Christ! Wow, I'm done. Whoo! I gotta go smoke something, and I don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a cigarette. Really? The level of self-hatred that I see from sisters is so troubling. You know, it really makes me feel sorry for them. You know, sisters, you black women, you are enough. Black women, you are beautiful in your purest form. You don't need to do this. You know, you don't need to risk your life in order to follow the latest trend, in order to, you know, give yourself this validation that you constantly seek. And they'll tell you left and right, oh, we're not seeking no validation. Yes, you are.
Mm.
Constantly, every second, every nanosecond of every day. When you do some stupid shit like this, you are seeking validation constantly.
What in
And
the
you
I want to
despise
play
yourself.
a game jigsaw type of shit is this?
Real talk. It sounds like some bullshit out
This
of
sa-
a movie.
yo, this
What?
sounds like a terribly written idea for a trap from a Saw sequel.
It
Some
does.
fashion designer, some Victoria's
Uh,
Secret designer gets kidnapped or wakes up in some sawmill or some subway train or something, and there's this damn bra sewn to their ribs, and they got like that's what the hell this sound like.
bruh.
Where would you who
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
I'm
you
I'm at a
know
loss for words, man.
you
the
Normally
most
guys,
I have some.
dangerous thing that ever happened was the ability for people to become famous and develop regard without having time. There was a time when, in order to be on anyone's TV, to be on anyone's newspaper, to be known to be famous, you had to actually have a talent. You had to be able to sing, to dance, to perform. You had to be an artist. You had to be an actor, an actress. You had to do something of note. The people that did shit like this to just garner attention,
yeah.
they had a mechanism for that back in the day, very low tech. It was, and I'm not even being funny. It was known as the freak show.
Sure was.
You were
Sure
a
was.
side act as a carnival. You were a carnival. You were a side act on the carnival. Usually, you had the respect of your fellow carnies and your travelers, but by the public, you were considered the bottom tier. You were where people went to go and gawk and stare. The bearded lady, the
Mhm.
people, the twins with two heads or whatever, the girl with the bra sewn into her skin or whatever. That's where this would be placed under as.
So damn weirdo.
This was never anything people aspired to, but nowadays you can be famous for absolutely nothing, for being
Mm.
dumber than everybody else,
Yes, because that's what
and
this
not
is.
not famous like, honey, look at that jackass over that. Don't stare. That's not nice, Phil. Not that kind of famous.
No,
You can
famous fame.
actually be known. Oh my God, that's Ari. Ari, I look up to you. I mean, it's crazy.
I
Remember what I said before. The worst thing, the worst thing for a person to suffer is not negative attention. It's no attention at all. It's to be ignored altogether.
mm-hmm.
When these people who do not get attention, and it stems from childhood,
Mhm.
It does.
either a missing mother, a missing father, parents worked all the time. They worked around the clock, 60 hours a day, like you're talking about. They don't have time to actually be present in their child's life, or whatever. All overlooked in school. When people feel like they don't matter, they don't exist, if they don't turn to drugs and alcoholism and depression and suicide attempts, a
Mhm.
lot of them resort to crazy nonsense like this just to get some level of attention. Because even if they're getting talked about, even if they're getting read, like, and in this case, it's well warranted. It's still better than being treated as if you don't exist, and if you died today, nobody would miss you 5 minutes later.
Mhm.
It is very important, and I'm not being funny. This is a hilarious situation, but it's no laughing matter. It is very important. Listen to me. My parents and those who don't have children yet, but they're aspiring to have children one day. It is mission critical that you be there for your children. A
Real talk.
large part of that comes to making sacrifices, but more importantly, laying down the foundation in advance. A lot of our children are not planned. We just have a really good night. The Henny gets involved. Ain't no protection involved whatsoever, and the children just pop up.
Yeah.
When you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and as a result, you can love your children to death. But if you're constantly putting yourself in a position where you have to break yourself, working all kind of crazy hours, taking on multiple jobs to provide for children that you weren't actually planning, it puts you in a position where things like this are possible because you're not present. You can't be there. You're not able to give the attention, the love that the children need. If you're parenting under stress, you might not be the most patient, the most compassionate, the most present with your
Right.
children. Our children need us at our best
Mm-hmm.
because I'm positive. I'll put money right now. This was not a child who's a product of a loving two-parent home where the parents were present and
No
active
way.
and loving on their child. I'll
No
take
way.
that. I could be flat out wrong, but guess what? I'll safely take that bet every day of the week.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
You may not be a perfect parent, but you can do the best job possible. And if you're not planning things properly out the gate, you are subject to this.
Yeah, this is sad, man. This is
And I know it's true. It has been true because nobody's imagination is this good. Nobody can come up with a story like Stephen King can't come up with this. Steven Spielberg couldn't screenwrite like this.
bruh. What?
This real life is way stranger than fiction, man.
Bruh, that shit is that's heavy. Woo, like, man. It just don't make no sense to me. Like I said, my thing is, I mean, I knew the self-hate was real, but again, like what practical purpose does that even serve other than getting you
Sowing a
some
broad. I mean, sir, I can't even talk right now. This is,
like and what happened? You remember what happened to the other sister, K Michelle, and others, who've had complications where they had health problems because of these surgeries that they had. I can
and that's
almost
with the standard stuff too. Keep that in mind. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It is. We're talking about removing fat and placing it elsewhere. We're talking about good old fashioned silicone stuff been
Yeah.
around for the longest time. That's the normal quote unquote stuff. These nut jobs are experimenting with all kind of crazy stuff now. I don't.
you're gonna hurt your brain trying to figure that shit out, man. Like don't even
This is gonna weigh on me. You don't understand. This is gonna weigh on me all day. I really wish I didn't know about this. This is gonna weigh on me.
All right,
Oh,
so
God, prayers for
we
the sister.
yeah.
definitely that's just some nonsense. So we get into the next one real quick. Our next segment we'll jump into is question of the day. All right. So we want to know who is right and who is wrong. Is it the man that's wrong or the woman that's wrong? And here it is. All right. So the man, the man is in the blue, and the
Okay.
woman is in the gray. So the guy says, "Hey, this is Vance." She says, "Hi." He says, "Hope you had a great day. I'm excited for tomorrow. I can pick you up before. If you're not comfortable with that, we can just meet there. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like I'm getting some ice cream in this hot weather," laughing out loud. She replies back, "Sorry if this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm 26 years old, woman, and a date like that seems like an absolute bare minimum for me. Meeting up would be a waste of both of our times since we probably don't have the same vibe." Now, what's your take on that? Who is wrong? The
Well,
girl or the guy?
I don't know that anybody's necessarily wrong, and I posted that earlier this week
Yeah.
just to add a thought, and this goes back to the conversation that we had on here. For me, when I was telling y'all, that, and why that a first date should be modest. You dig? Because you have a lot of women out here. In fact, I can put a number on it. 33% of women out here, 1 in 3 women, have admitted to going on dates just for the free food. And the thing is this, you can tell by this just by the way that they're interacting, whatever the case may be, that, well, it sounds like anyway, that this is early in the relationship, early in the involvement. You know what I'm saying? Even if it wasn't, whatever, but just the fact that she's saying it seems like an absolute bare minimum would be a waste of our time. Well, those are things that you say when you really don't know somebody. If you've been dating somebody for 2 years, and he wants to hook up for an ice cream date, that there's clearly more to it than just ice cream, right?
Yeah.
But in the early phases of when you're dating, you absolutely must, men, you must keep your dates modest.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. This is why I instituted the $50 maximum. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you might be a brother like Ant, where your steak is, is a little pricey or whatever the case may be, but I would caution brothers not to go much above that. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe you don't go for steak on the first couple dates. Maybe you do something like an ice cream date. And don't go to Cold Stone, nigga, because you'll burn $50 easy at Cold Stone on ice cream. That's the most expensive goddamn ice cream I've ever had in my life. So don't do that if you want to be a little modest, because you have women out here, unfortunately, that are targeting men and trying to just come up on them and just flex on them. You know what I'm saying? They want everything to seem like a come up so they can go brag back to their stupid friends about how they used you. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, a lot of these women are not being very real with you. They're not keeping it 100 with you. For me, I have even my wife can tell you, I had a very strict policy. I didn't ask my wife out immediately. My wife fine as hell. You understand what I'm saying? And we got along very well when I first met her. We spent the whole night talking and chilling and whatever, just kind of hanging out together. But after that, there was a duration of maybe, I think about 3 weeks before I asked her to go out on a date at all. And that's my wife. And I knew I had genuine interest in her, but you have to vet these women before you even ask them out on a date, because every woman don't deserve to be taken on a date. You dig? And it's because of bullshit like this. This sense of entitlement, you got to check that shit at the door. You got to check it at the door. This is a new involvement. Even for him identifying himself, hi, this is Vance. So obviously she don't know this guy like that. Hi, this is Vance. This is probably the first time they're going out. She hasn't done anything of consequence yet to have earned lobster and steak. The fuck I'm taking you for lobster and steak for? I don't even know if I like you like that.
Yeah.
And this came from actually, I had to check myself, because I met this, woman back in the day, fine young lady, whatever the case may be. She was flirting and smiling right and all that. I'm like, yo, we got to go out. And I went out on a date with this woman, and this woman said some insulting shit to me at the table. And I threatened her ass. I'm like, you don't talk to me like that. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I snapped on her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't be doing that. And I had to go back in my head and check myself like, hey, you can't be just going out with just anybody.
Yeah.
And if you do go out, part of another flaw, looking back, hindsight is 20/20, right? Mm-hmm. Looking back, damn, I went out with her and we had drinks, and you don't know if everybody can hold their liquor.
Correct.
Ice cream would probably be an ideal first date. The library, shit like that, opportunist society. Arthur says opportunist society. You damn right. You got a lot of women out here using dudes. You know what I'm saying? Even at the bar, it's women who just run around the club all night trolling niggas for free drinks. No. As men, you have to start valuing yourself and telling these females, no, stop being a slave to your appetites, nigga. You understand? You tell the ass, no, get out my face. And when a female comes at you like this, my only issue with this thread is he didn't come back and check her ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he just kind of left it alone. Okay, cool. No, it's not cool. You understand? I'm offering to take you out. I'm not, berating you or nothing like that. I'm offering to take you out. What's the problem? I would have let her know just how low energy she was and to let her go take a hike, because that is the order of the day now. We got a lot of these women out here just trying to use dudes for whatever. I had a chick back in the day, tell somebody that I know, because they asked about us dating. Yeah, I just wanted a free meal. I've been on the receiving end of that. It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? This is what I thought so much more of this person. Come to find out, you just another bird. So to me, I don't see anything that the guy did. There's nothing wrong with asking a woman to go out for, I think when the conversation that we had, Bobby Drake kind of called it a non-date date. Because you kind of have to screen these women out to even determine if they are deserving of an actual date. Yeah. Now, if it's your anniversary and you in a couple years down the line and dude talk about taking you out for ice cream, well, that's a little different. But when you just meet somebody, I think that you need to let it be known. You need to establish boundaries. And you need to make sure you go out of your way not to spend too much, because that sets the wrong type of precedent. If you start off tricking, you're going to keep tricking.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? How you start is how you finish. You start off modest, and when you see that she's a real one, you do a little more, and you do a little more. Okay, and eventually you have Philippe Child, and y'all balling out. You have Baleen or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're doing fly stuff like that. That's cool with your girl and with a woman who deserves it. But just some random that you just met, you got to earn it. And you need to put it out there that she needs to earn it. Yeah. That's the long and short of it.
Definitely.
I'm a very practical person. I'm not too often in the business of recreating fire, reinventing the wheel, or what have you. So this is what I had to say. And I commented this, I think it was on your page, Major. And I said straight up, and I just want to, before I even read that, I just want to go over what he said again. Well, what he said and what she said. So first off, he came with good energy. Hey, this is Vance. Said, I hope you had a good day. I'm excited for tomorrow. Letting say he's looking forward to the date tomorrow. I can pick you up, but if you're not comfortable with that, we can just meet there. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like getting some ice cream in this hot weather. LOL. Now, the important thing is, first off, he never said that the date was going to. He actually didn't give any details about the date whatsoever.
True.
He mentioned that he just feels like getting some ice cream in this hot weather, which makes sense. It's hot outside. You want something nice and cold and refreshing. That's just
perfect
default. He said, I feel like getting some ice cream in this hot weather. At no point whatsoever did he say that the date was an ice cream date. He didn't say that they was only going to get ice cream.
True.
He didn't even say where they were going to get ice cream from.
Or that they had to get ice cream. He just said it's what he felt like. Okay, I smell you.
She comes with a capital size 72 font ASS. Font resized down to size 2.5 UME. Assuming. Talking about, this may come off as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. Interesting, because he never said it was going to be an ice cream date, but I digress.
True.
I'm a 26-year-old woman. Oh. And a date like that seems like the absolute bare minimum for me. So in other words, this is not fitting for a woman who's 26 years of age and up. Meeting up would be not this idea isn't a good idea, but meeting up, period, now would be a waste of both of our times since we probably don't have the same vibe.
She assumed a lot. She
I'm in the
really
mood
did.
for ice cream, and now we don't have the same vibe.
Real talk.
This is
Really?
what I had to say. This is what I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
I
Ant.
just want to plug this in real quick, right? Because the emphasis on the ice cream. I don't know if you guys ever pay attention to movies with rich people in it,
Yeah.
but you notice that they always do coffee and ice cream in those movies.
Always. Always. Yes. Coffee is another good first date, fellas. Yeah.
Mhm.
You won't spend more than $30.
Or tea, because for
Or
those who don't
tea.
drink coffee, because someone's gonna throw a hissy fit.
You damn right. But yeah, this is crazy.
So this was my response when I saw this. I
Uh-huh.
said the funny thing is ice cream is general, just like lunch, dinner, let's go eat, etc. This is what makes her basic. He could have meant let's get some ice cream from Dairy Queen. He could have meant let's get some ice cream from Cold Stone. He could have meant let's get some ice cream from the Whitney or any other high level place, maybe some bed and breakfast or some really dope spot you discovered. Every place or spot has ice cream. Every place has dessert. So I mean the same way I was saying, oh, let's go and get some chicken. He could have meant let's go to Popeyes. He could have meant let's go to PF Chang's. Let's go to Nobu someplace.
It's open.
But because she was just itching, and this is for the women right here, because she was just itching to showcase how high her standards are and how poor her manners and decorum are, she'll never know if she was getting taken to a fast food spot or a high-end one.
Mm-hmm.
Far too many women have made and are making hubris and rudeness a personality and calling it leveling up. You have not leveled up. You do not know your worth. You're simply unpleasant and lacking broad-upsy. And I'm seeing this now. This is being pushed all across social media like it's got wheels on it. This idea of women knowing their worth, not settling for less, from a bunch of women who either have been given the bare minimum of life or who feel that they've just been receiving the bare minimum of life. Now we're just going to go ahead and jump to the opposite end of the spectrum. So whatever you thought you were before, we're not going to try to get somewhere in the middle and find harmony. We're going to jump to the extreme polar opposite now, and all of a sudden, I deserve top of the line everything. So now there are no average people anymore. There are no average women anymore. Now all of a sudden, every woman is top of the line, high end, settling for less, not at all.
Of course.
We saw this in the wake of Kevin Samuels. The whole 6-figure man has to be over 6 feet. Everything has to be above average.
Real talk.
Everything
Yeah.
has to be over the top now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just that, but the attitudes and the entitlement that come along with it. And this thinking, just in the short period of time that this has been a whole movement, it's made women more insufferable than ever. More and more men are being turned off to the way that women are moving and operating and thinking and dealing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we know the rampant misogynists and the red pill winosphere dudes. They've been on that wave, so they don't count.
Right.
But we're seeing even dudes who are solid and sensible and reasonable saying, "Hey, man, this is going way too far now."
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Completely alienating themselves from men, and it's resulting in women who are getting more and more lonely, more and more desperate, they're less fulfilled now. Many women have gotten to a point now because they believe in this stuff so much with all their hearts now. They've gotten to the point where now they're saying, well, I would rather be lonely the rest of my life than to take what I don't deserve.
No,
By
what that
default,
really
you're saying
means.
that you deserve that to be lonely. And I agree.
Mhm.
Because God forbid you get with an actual decent brother and he has to put up with that nonsense.
Right.
He doesn't deserve that.
Well, what they really mean, though, is they'd rather be alone for the rest of their lives than to cooperate and or change things about themselves. They're that
Because it
stubborn.
can't be them. It can't be them.
It can't be. is that stubborn. And it's like, bro, I tell guys all the time, 3 words, man. Let them suffer. You dig? I mean, they're always out here complaining about, oh, this 50-50 brothers, you ain't no real man, you a roommate. Okay, leave them alone. Let them pay 100% of the shit. What if you don't worry about them? Get you a woman who's going to appreciate you and be cooperative. You dig? As opposed to, you out here trying to make this knucklehead act like a decent human being. You know what I'm saying? It's a thankless job, man. And once you really start to value yourself, I'm telling you this, I know this firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Once I really, really start to take a look at me and the dope ass person that I am, you know what I'm saying? And really like do an evaluation of myself every 6 months or so. I do an introspection, on me. Like, okay, what am I doing? How are things going with me? And now I do it with my wife. We do a review every 6 months. Hey, how am I doing? Let me know. How you think I'm doing? Let me know. We do that. And a lot of y'all brothers, man, if y'all really do that with yourself, just kind of do especially if you're single and you're out here dating, just do a review on you and the type of women that you surround yourself with and that you allow into your space and that you allow to have time with you. Precious time that you could be doing other valuable shit. You understand what I'm saying? And if you really do a sound assessment and you're honest with yourself, you'll get rid of all the roaches. You'll get rid of all the roaches, bro. And you'll make a decision that you're only going to deal with quality women going forward if you're a man worth your salt. Any man worth his salt. You dig? Because this type of garbage is out there, man. I've dealt with women like this. You understand what I'm saying? I've met women at the club, Friday a couple weeks ago. I call this chick Sunday, Monday, she don't answer. I call her later on the week, another time, she don't answer. I text her one last time. I used to have a rule. I try to hit you up 3 times if I'm really feeling you. If I don't hear back from you, I delete your shit. 3rd time, I send a text. Okay. She ain't hit me back. All right, I done deleted her number. And this same chick, 3 weeks later, hit me up. Mind you, we never had a conversation, and I hit this bitch up. We never once had an actual conversation. She hits me up talking about she need to borrow $400 for her rent.
Yeah.
What? You know what I'm saying? It just angers me that people feel that it's okay to just use. I would never disrespect a sister like that. You know what I'm saying? I never even had a conversation with you. And the first time that I hit you up, I'm asking you for something. This sister, and I take that back. I'm not gonna use that terminology. This sister, you understand what I'm saying? She is saying here, hey, we haven't even spoken, but I think so lowly of you. Like you said, Bobby, she was just itching to lash out at this guy. And the man hasn't done anything. We have a very weird dynamic with a lot of people out here in the dating and relationship realm, where they are just like this as a standard procedure before they even have a conversation with you. Niggas ain't shit. I remember another female told me one time, why am I go out with you again so you can fuck up my life? What? I was like, yo, this was a seemingly nice young lady, carried herself well, she dressed nice, she had the appearance of a normal, decent girl. And I'm like, we went out, even our first date was cool. And next time we got on the phone, you're like, so you want to get to know me better? Why I'm gonna go out with you again so you can fuck up my life? I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? That's how this girl comes off to me. Like at the door, there's just vitriol. There's just hatred towards him. I've been that guy who's on the other side of that. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not a good feeling. But this is the importance of vetting, to get these people out of the way. And to tie this back into our topic, what do the city girls on their song say? Real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. Isn't that what they say? That's what this is. That's what this is. You understand what I'm saying? There's always this talk of being a boss bitch, being a bad bitch. First of all, you're calling yourself a bitch. And there's this undertone of not having any regard for what men have to say or what men feel. Shout out Keke Palmer. And so, yeah, this ties right in with what we're talking about, because these celebrities are constantly putting this energy out there. And then the regular everyday women are internalizing it and acting it out in day-to-day life. This man was excited. He said that he was excited. He's like, hey, I'm excited for tomorrow. I hope you had a good day. I can pick you up, whatever. I mean, this guy's happy, clearly in a good mood, excited about seeing this mongrel on the other side of this message. This is horrible, man. We got to do better than this. You know what I'm saying? We really got to do better than this. This is absolutely uncalled for.
Definitely, man. I just hope the brother, he dodged the bullet, and I'd like to see that brother prosper in a relationship with somebody that really values him and
Real talk.
will give him a chance at first and won't assume or think of the worst. And that's how brothers flourish later on into relationships that's meaningful and take women very serious and don't become bitter in the long run. So I'm kind of glad he just dodged that bullet. And when you vetting out people, it's always good. There's a video that I wanted to post about a guy, and it wouldn't pop up, but this guy, he said to these girls, like, y'all look good, and the girls didn't really respond to him, and then he just became real irate about it because he wanted a response. And then he started going into, I'll slit y'all throats and I'll have y'all asses on the news and this and that, and y'all bitches.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
wow.
I wanted to play that video because I want people to understand that, there are dusty dudes out there. And for all you dusty dudes out there, all you Negro nerds and the guys that really aren't getting played like that, because a guy who's getting played like that is not going to take offense if a woman, listens to his compliment or take heed to his compliment. Whether they do or not, it doesn't faze a guy who is out here getting women and getting the attention and is being choosed by different women. He's not going to take that into anything negative. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be like, all right, beloved, have a good day. Have a good night, ladies. Y'all be safe. And keep it moving. I've done that plenty of times. But this guy really, really went over the edge. And it was real sad to see this guy melt down over a situation like that. But fellas, I just want you guys to know that when you are complimenting a woman, they do not owe you any response in return. It's throwing your bait out there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to throw your bait out there in the water. You might get a hit, you might not. Guess what? You don't get a hit, what you going to do? Take your line out the water and go to another spot.
That's
Throw your line out there until you get a bite, right? That's what you do. You don't go out there and make threats to nobody, because at the end of the day, this is somebody's mother. This is somebody's sister. This is somebody's relative. And you wouldn't want nobody to threaten your relative, because you'd be the first one to get on that phone and be like, yeah, where you at? I'm coming there now because I'm coming to protect you.
Yeah.
You would be out there ready to beat the shit out of a guy who talked to your sister or, your mother like that. So don't do it for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it for nobody else. Don't do that to nobody else.
Yeah, that's
respect women how you want people to respect the women in your life. And if you don't respect the women in your life, then guess what? Stay out of the women's lives that you run across and just stay to yourself, because that type of stuff right there was very, very nasty. And if I was in that vicinity, I would have checked them. There was a guy, eventually there was a guy who checked him, but he looked like he was so scared to check him. And I would have checked dude. I would have checked dude on his shit. And if it would have came to something that would have popped off somewhere else, so be it. You know, I'm not afraid to take it to that level
Yeah.
because I'm never a guy to initiate it, anything like that. But I'm also a guy that will be quick to defend when I see somebody being done wrong or somebody being in danger like that. You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? And my track record is always up there. So I don't speak on stuff that I don't do myself. I've went viral for protecting a black woman against another white woman with her gun out. Come to find out she was a retired police officer. So I never shy away from doing the right thing. And fellas, if you're out there in a situation, you don't shy away from doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You step up and you say what you need to say, because sometimes by you saying it and checking it can save somebody else in the future, because they might not want to go through that again, being checked like that, being embarrassed like that. So I'm the type of person that'll do that. And I just wanted to bring that up before I go into these 6 different keynote advice. So just to give you guys some more good game on your everyday living, we'll start off with this. All right. So the first one is being physically attractive is a great way to get attention. Being mentally attractive is the only way to keep it. Educate yourself, address your reoccurring toxic thoughts, deal with insecurities, and learn to be happy alone. All right.
Yeah.
Second, normalize saying no without needing to over-explain yourself. If someone is offended by your boundaries, that's their problem. The best weight you'll ever lose in this is the weight of other people's opinions of you. Third, don't subscribe to other people's definition of fun. Fun doesn't mean drinking, partying, socializing. Fun can be a night alone, getting lost in a book, a deep conversation, a walk, creating art, playing music, or doing your work. Fun is yours to define. 4, before you get married, discuss bills, parenting, what beliefs will be installed in your children, childhood traumas, sexual expectations, financial expectations, family health, career, and education. Love is simply not enough. 5, the age of 15 to 30 is your golden era of your life. You make friends, you lose them too. You make mistakes, you correct them too. You fall, you fail, you learn, you realize, you hit reality, you fall in love, and you get hurt too. You lose yourself, and eventually you become stronger. Remember, these are the best years of your life. You should understand the difference between enjoying it and ruining it. Number 6, last but not least, heal before having children so your children don't have to heal from having you as a parent. Very important. All right. So with that being said, we're definitely going to go into our last segment of the night, which is the crown check segment. And definitely want to acknowledge, and we talk about celebrity worshiping. This woman here is a celebrity, but nobody really worships her, and she's been doing phenomenal work throughout her career. And that lady is no other than, boom. Y'all know who that is?
Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen.
Come on, man. Do I know who that is?
Yeah.
Debbie Allen is a beast. Debbie Allen is a monster out here. Yeah, I know who that is. Very worthy candidate.
The wonderful Debbie Allen, you know what I'm saying? So, Debbie Allen, as you guys know, Debbie K. Allen, born January 16, 1950, an American actress, dancer, choreography, singer, songwriter, director, producer, and former member of the President's Committee of the Arts and Humanities. She also been nominated 20 times for an Emmy Award, winning 5,
Wow.
2 Tony Awards, and also won a Golden Globe Award. Received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1991.
Wow.
A
Wow.
lot of people don't even know that. Okay, in the articles of the Museum of Broadcast Communication, the Hollywood Reporter commented on Allen's impact as a producer director of the television series A Different World. The show dealt with life of the students at the fictional historical Black college, Hillman. Ran for 6 seasons on NBC. The Hollywood Reporter is quoted to stating that when Debbie Allen became the producer and usually director of The Different World after the first season, she transformed it from a bland Cosby spinoff into a lively, socially responsible and situation comedy.
She did.
Directed total of 83 episodes. The sister was phenomenal.
She on fire.
Impactful, and she kept us on that Black wave and made sure that we had great content that put us in the right direction. And during that time, a lot of us, we had our parents out there hustling and working long hours. But guess what? Even though our parents weren't home, we had TV shows like the ones Debbie Allen produced that made sure that we got the education, the messages, and stayed on track without our parents' presence. So the TV during that era was very intricate and helped us a lot by molding us into the great individuals that you see today. And a lot of people didn't understand that, but I'm very thankful for Debbie Allen. And you guys know the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And so her sister, a lot of people might not know, is Felicia Rashad. So
Nah.
you got two great women who are
Man, they did that.
very impactful in the Black community. So we definitely want to shout out these queens, and especially Debbie Allen, for doing such a phenomenal job. And she is never looked at as a stardom. She was never worshipped as a celebrity, even though she was more impactful than the majority of the celebrities that was out during her time and in the current times today. So our queen check for the night is definitely out to Debbie Allen. And I turn it over to you guys.
Yo, that was an excellent crown check tonight. Debbie Allen is one of the unsung sisters that held down so much, man. I first got put onto Debbie Allen from this TV show called Fame. And it was a show that was about came out in the 80s. My mom used to watch it, and I didn't really, when you're a little boy, especially even as a little boy, I was a very alpha little boy. So I didn't really, care about it, but then I saw her and this other actress on there. I think it was Irene Cara. And, I'm like, okay, we got some cuties in the building. Okay, I'm interested now. I'm watching it a little bit, and then, I started checking it out, and it's like, yo, the imagery and the messaging in the show was just so dope. You know what I'm saying? And the things that the show had to say, were real fly. And, that's what I appreciated about that even then as a very young child. I was must have been like, 5 or 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I first started finding out about her. Then later on, I found out she was a choreographer, and, she did some choreography for some of my favorite artists. And then, I found out she was involved with A Different World, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. You understand what I'm saying? And, her influence, particularly with A Different World, her influence was just ridiculous out here. That's why back in those days, you had young women coming up talking about they want to go to college. They want to be a doctor, or a lawyer rather, like her sister was on the Cosby Show. They want to go to college. They want to learn. They want to be something, because back then we had shows about going somewhere in life. Today we have shows about nothing. So, this sister is very instrumental, I feel, or was very instrumental in the upbringing of a lot of young Black women, and the shaping of their mentality to make them feel like they could become and to make them feel like, you know, they should strive to become. You know, I think that cannot be understated. Beautiful, beautiful sister. And she, like I said, she's really done a lot for the imagery. Anybody who was involved in the Cosby Show in a different world back in the days did a lot for the general imagery of Black people, you know, and that's, you know, why so many of us came up okay. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. Can't be understated. But, you know, I want to go back and make sure I touch on the other point that you made as well. True, I do agree with what you're saying regarding brothers and the approach. In fact, I spoke to that last week, you know, about brothers and how we approach sisters and, you know, how we interact. You know, if you compliment a sister, this or that, whatever the case may be. No, you shouldn't be threatening nobody. No, you shouldn't be talking about you're going to put your hands on nobody, whatever the case may be. But I also want to speak to the other side of that, because there are a lot of sisters out here, and this in no way takes away from the point that Anthony was making. That is still a very valid point, and we still need to go with that. However, there are a lot of sisters out here that, on the flip side of that same coin, they take the time and the interaction, whereas the guy's putting himself out there, you know, to try to give them attention or talk to them or whatever, they take that as a cue to go out of their way to be disrespectful. Okay, that also has to be checked. You understand what I'm saying? That has to be checked, and checked hard and checked often. And I've had to check a female or two, you know, for trying to, you know, just be disrespectful unnecessarily. You know, respectfully, but still check. Because at the end of the day, I think the broader conversation is simply that we need to be more civil when we're dealing with each other. She doesn't owe you an affirmative response in that, oh, you know, yeah, here's my number, call me, or whatever the case may be. No, she doesn't owe you that, but she does owe you the common respect and decency of at least, you know, acknowledging you as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging you as a human being, acknowledging you as in some regard, you know, that is not disrespectful. Let me just put it that way. You know, because a lot of these, you know, guys, hey, how you doing? You look beautiful. You know, and they'll just roll their eyes, you know, or say something slick. And so, you know, a lot of times a brother, you know, will feel away, you know, and he'll check him. I still don't think jumping out the window is respectful or something that you should do in any event, right? But sometimes you got to kind of let these women know, hey, you know, that's not called for. You know, I'm really just admiring you. I'm just speaking. Sometimes a guy's not even trying to talk to you. Sometimes a guy's just saying hello. You know, I remember when I was a club promoter, I think I talked about this once before on here. You know, I told her, hey, how you doing? You look very nice this evening. I wasn't trying to talk to this woman. I was a club promoter. I was doing my job. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what the people at the club tell you to do. But in her mind, you know, and she said something to this effect, you can just keep your game. What? You know, like, again, we get to this weird space where we're just banging on people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I had to check her on that. No, sister, I was really just saying good evening. I'm not trying to, you know, get with you or anything. And, you know, if you think that a man complimenting you and saying something nice to you is him being, you know, deceptive and trying to run game on you and doing something nefarious, that says a lot about your character. You need to heal. And I walked off and left her there looking stupid. You understand? So yeah, you know, sometimes you know, sisters, you have to bring it in a little too. You know, you got to bring it in. It's not a green light for you to go try to embarrass somebody and put somebody out there either. So I just wanted to add that caveat as well. You know, we all need to be more civil when we're dealing with each other. If a guy's trying to talk to you, he's just showing you that he admires you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's no reason to try to go in on him and embarrass him. If a girl's not interested in you, she's just not interested in you. That's okay. She ain't got to be interested in your ass. You dig? It's not a reason to go and, threaten assault and all this crazy stuff. So, just broadly speaking, I think that we need to do a better job of seeing each other in a more godly manner and start talking to each other more respectfully. I think there's a lot of progress that we can make in that area. We savage each other every chance we get, if we're being totally honest, even online, and that just has to stop. Go ahead, Drake. What you got?
No, I absolutely agree with the point that you just made. You know, we have to at some point start taking responsibility. I know that's a big deal.
Mm.
um, accountability,
Mhm.
responsibility. But it is what it is. Nevertheless, um, we have to start taking more personal responsibility and accountability for the state of the union, so to speak, as it is. Um, and I've spoken before about the concept of taking responsibility for your environment and adopting a mindset of it might not be your fault, but it's your responsibility, and just taking that absolute ownership and how beneficial that is for you and those around you. Um, but it never ceases to trip me out how people will be sitting there complaining about something, and then not 5 minutes later do something that's contributing to the very same thing they were just complaining about. It's gotta be for me. I know it is, but I have to imagine if they're halfway cognizant of themselves, that it's gotta be like an out of body experience.
Hmm.
You complain, for example, and say, um, men are disrespectful to women. You know, men are misogynistic. They're all bad. Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And then out the blue, they'll go ahead and say something completely disrespectful and unwarranted to to a male,
Yeah.
and it's like, ma'am, right now we don't see this how men are all such and such and such and this. We just see you being swayed towards men.
Hmm. Real talk.
You're complaining about the poor quality of the water while you're peeing in it.
Real
Or
shit. Yeah.
how thick are them blinders? But you got blackout curtains over your eyeballs. So we have to be mindful about this. And the funny thing is, we'll try and we'll go ahead and apply some of these concepts, and that's why I don't really take a lot of these people with these new age thoughts about you know manifesting and all this positive talk, because so often these people do not live what they're talking about. I'm not talking about hypocrisy, but they're failing to apply it in the ways that matter most. You're talking about you manifesting good vibes and good energy for yourself, and you create vision boards with the future that you want. But here you are just pooing all on the present. You're
Right.
complaining about how you're being treated by opposite sex. Meanwhile, you're not doing anything that even shows that you're a person that I'd want to even look at for 2 seconds, let alone be courteous and kind to. Um, and of course, it's not just women; it works the other way as well too. But we got to be mindful of these things.
Hmm.
Um, don't just be mindful of what you're putting out there in one aspect. Be mindful of what you're putting out there in all aspects.
Correct.
But to go back to the sister, I don't want to take any time off her. Yeah, Debbie Allen, man, as
Awesome.
talk about a powerhouse and a dynamo. It's just, it's amazing how there's so many amazing women, so many sisters in so many different respects, and yet so often it's the non-black sisters that we go and just reverence. There should be a 10-to-1 ratio in black homes of Debbie Allen's to Marilyn Monroe's.
Yeah, I've
I
always
mean,
wondered.
it's I mean, and not just we have so many sisters
Hmm.
that are the truth all around. Debbie Allen's, you've got your Phyllis Hyman's, you've got your oh my God, there's just so many sisters out there and in different fields. But of course, we love entertainment. but even the sisters who've paved the way and who've been amazing and dynamic in the realm of entertainment, from music to modeling to acting, and yet some of these sisters are unknowns,
Yeah.
and that's a shame. That's a shame, and it just speaks again to the low self-esteem. Part of the reason why we have so many sisters out here who are wilding out and acting like they have no sense, doing all kind of crazy things for likes and attention and to get this bit is because they genuinely, I don't even mean speak to an individual level, they have low race esteem, if we're
True.
honest. I don't
True.
care how much they might hype up or promote a Meg the Stallion, um, a Kiki, or whoever, all these different people, but overall, they don't like the skin they're in. And
Real
just
talk.
because they don't go out and bleach their skin and do all kind of crazy things like that, that doesn't mean that they don't suffer from low race esteem.
Real talk.
If you have and again, go ahead, send the smoke my way. I'm a chimney. I was built for it. If you have a poster or a picture of a Marilyn Monroe in your house, or if you got it saved as a background for your phone or your computer or a phone case, whatever, if you got her or another non-black woman posted up as a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't at least, I'll be generous. I'll lower the bar for you. Don't say I never did anything for you. You don't at least have one sister like a Dionne Warwick or Whitney Houston, you know, a top level sister who runs a Marilyn Monroe and all these others into the ground. They're not even fit to her period panties. They
What?
ain't worthy of that. They
Yo.
can't wash her period panties. They can't rinse off her tampon. They can't do nothing with her. That's an insult
Oh
that
shit.
these women have had to persevere against so many odds as black women for any sort of opportunities that even these trash icons that we have nowadays come up behind,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't even get any praise. They don't even get any love. They don't get any sort of reverence. If you're gonna worship celebrities, those are the ones to do that with.
Come on now.
But again, I'm glad that although this is a man platform, this is a platform by men, for men by and large. We don't at the same time shun our sisters because we do understand that it's not just us on this planet, and we are meant to be a unit. Men need women, women need men. So by default, for us to be a man-based platform, we have to have healthy attitudes about women, about sisters. And so I'm grateful that we do have our crown check. That it might not be anything huge in the world. It might be insignificant. It might just be a speck of something in a sea of something. But I'm glad that we at least take time out to do this. And if nobody else says anything, if nobody else gives a shout out, we doing that. I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
we doing that.
No
Um,
doubt.
excellent choice and top level. I learned some
Definitely.
things about her as well. I had no idea she's a sister of Felicia Rashad.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah. A lot of
So
people didn't know that. A lot of
Formerly
people
I,
Felicia
didn't.
Ayers
I
Ellen.
was stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned. So goes to show, Felicia wasn't a one off. Apples falling from trees. You know what they say. Um,
Yeah,
I like this one. I really really like this one.
definitely.
That's what's
All
up.
right. So you guys, thank you for everybody that's been down here, giving us great praises. Dr. Umar, speaking of Dr. Umar is going to be here in South Florida, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday.
I heard.
Um, I signed up to go see him. Um, Definitely wanted to put that out there. So if you are going out there, anybody that's following us that's going out there, I will be out there at the Dr. Umar event. So hopefully to see y'all out there, brothers. If y'all not busy, y'all can definitely sign up for free and get out there to go watch Dr. Umar. I definitely want to check on U and get back in contact with him because I did two what do you call it? I did 2 interviews with him, and the interviews I did with him was very powerful. So I definitely wanted to get back on that and link up with him on that level because I know once we get the interviews with these people, the interviews are going to be way different than what people think that it's going to end up being, and it's going to be more powerful. So just wanted to put that out there. Thank you, everybody who's been out here supporting us. Shout out to Queen Mila. Sister did a dope review on our show. We had showed it. We replayed it on our Manversations 2020 Instagram page. Also, I think it's on the Facebook page. I know Major put it on his page.
Yeah, I gotta post that in the group too. And don't worry, y'all. You know, we're gonna be much more live in the groups. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit Ant up and holler at him about some things. You know, a lot of y'all been asking us to be more interactive. So we're gonna be more interactive, liver in the groups, and we're encouraging y'all, you know, to call in. You know what I'm saying? Call in, drop your 2 cents. If you got something to say about what's going on. I remember our brother Rick Roots Media, he was asking me, you know, hey man, what's up? I want to get on and, you know, speak or whatever. It's like, hey man, just let us know. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring y'all on. We're interested in hearing what y'all have to say. We got a lot of fun new shit coming for y'all. So y'all just stand by. It's going to be really, really popping out here. And yes, again, thank you, Sister Mila, for that shout out and the review. It was really, really appreciated. And it's good to know that when you're putting this energy out there, when you're putting, you know, your thoughts out there, you know, that it's being received in such a positive way. So, brothers and sisters, we thank you so much. God bless, man. We got a couple new cats I see in the comments today. People I never saw. I saw Arthur Papillon before. Shout out to you, Mr. Ted P. I don't recall seeing, but shout out to you as well as Anubis TV and others. You know, y'all keep rocking with us, man. It's going down. It's just going to get better and better. Manifestations 2020, we here.
Definitely. So with that being said, we will definitely see you guys next week. And tell a friend to tell a friend, all right?
You already know.
Family.
Yay.
Peace.
Yeah.
On the album, we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.